For example, in this battle between the Iron Man team and the Captain America team, this guy is just playing soy sauce and always paddling. If Tony hadn't pulled him over, he would probably be like Su Zaicheng, watching the show and idling on the sidelines. The atmosphere fell into a stalemate again, and no one could convince anyone just now. Now that Su Zaicheng is here, no one dares to act rashly. Why? They are all soft-spoken bastards, don't you dare to do it. Aren't they all quite arrogant just now? Show off your arrogance. If you don't do it, all of you will follow me, and I'll beat you to find the king. No matter where you really want to go, no one will look good. Seeing that everyone fell into silence suddenly, each of them was staring at Su Zaicheng and no one dared to make a move, which made Su Zaicheng a little embarrassed. Su Zaicheng would never be afraid of anyone if he came up to fight, but now that they don't make a move, Su Zaicheng is too embarrassed to fight first. That's why Su Zaicheng used these low-level aggressive methods to arouse their anger. Sure enough, someone finally couldn't stand Su Zaicheng pretending here. The moment Su Zaicheng finished speaking, the danger perception immediately opened up, and a chill came down his back. Is it finally unbearable? HMPH, I'm waiting for you. Su Zaicheng muttered to himself. The action didn't slow down. A backflip escaped the attack, and rushed straight towards the direction of the danger. Boom. A flash of red light flashed, and Su Zaicheng's foothold just now was blown to pieces. Unexpectedly, it was Scarlet Witch who couldn't bear it first. The old saying is true, a woman is a beauty, with big breasts and no brains. They are all superheroes. Others can tell that it is the aggressive method, or it may be that Scarlet Witch has just entered Avengers and is eager to perform. Su Zaicheng, who was close to him, rushed straight to Scarlet Witch's face with the palm of Jackie Chan's claw. Zzz. Suddenly, the perception of danger becomes danger again, and it is stronger than before. Su Zaicheng dodged sideways, and it turned out to be a laser shot by Vision's mind gem. This laser can even explode a building, no wonder the danger perception will be upgraded to a higher level. Just this sideways, Scarlet Witch has already hid from Su Zaicheng's attack range. At the same time, Vision guarded Scarlet Witch behind him and stood between the two, watching Su Zaicheng vigilantly. Oh who backquote, sprinkling dog food. A large-scale dog abuse scene. These two guys have such a close relationship and are still in the two camps. Tony and Captain America are really a bit embarrassing for them. Vision is also eager to protect his wife. However, if she dared to make a move, she had to be prepared to pay the price. It's all shot, Su Zaicheng won't just stop like this. One blow failed, Su Zaicheng turned around and teleported directly to Scarlet Witch. It doesn't matter if you are a woman or not when dealing with an enemy. The United States gentleman's courtesy for not hitting a woman. It doesn't work at all. Seeing the bounty hunter suddenly appear in front of him, not only Scarlet Witch, but also Vision was startled. I saw Scarlet Witch quickly set up an origin magic power barrier in front of him. And Vision crossed his arms, trying to do the trick that knocked down Ant-Man just now. Hard to hard, I like it. I muttered a word in my heart. Su Zaicheng also punched Vision directly. Boom. The moment the two collided, there was an earth-shattering sound. With the two of them as the center, a wave of air exploded to the surroundings in an instant. The surrounding wooden suitcases all shattered in an instant. When other people looked at the center of the airwave, the scene of hitting Ant-Man just now did not appear. Not only did the bounty hunter not fall, but he also stood in place. In contrast to Vision, everyone was surprised to find that at some point Vision flew out, and the whole person was embedded in the plane behind him. It was only at this time that Vision realized that a large piece of his arm had been dented in the collision just now. Everyone was shocked. This is the body. What kind of power is this, that can dent the vibranium? Wouldn't it be scrapped if it was replaced with Tony's horse harness? Too frightening. Looking at the bounty hunter, he waved his hand and launched an attack on Scarlet Witch again. As if the impact just now was not caused by him. In the eyes of others, Su Zaicheng is very strong, but Su Zaicheng doesn't think it's exaggerated at all. Wearing a hunter suit, if Su Zaicheng thinks about it, he can tear Vision alive. The moment Vision was knocked into the air, Su Zaicheng came to Scarlet Witch again. Lift up and kick straight into her origin magic power barrier. Su Zaicheng didn't hold back this kick, and he didn't need to hold back in the face of origin magic power. It's just that just after kicking this kick, he suddenly felt a sound of wind approaching him. Su Zaicheng didn't pay attention to the rumors. Su Zaicheng's kick was determined. Just take it as a thank you gift to her for the first shot just now. Boom. Su Zaicheng's speed was too fast, he couldn't see the shadow of the attack when he kicked out, and he didn't even give Scarlet Witch time to change his moves. Scarlet Witch originally wanted to wrap the origin magic power around the bounty hunter's leg to throw him away, but when the bounty hunter kicked him, he vomited a mouthful of blood. As soon as the kick was kicked out, the sound of wind came to Su Zaicheng. Turning around, it turned out to be an arrow made of fine steel. Su Zaicheng grabbed it, and as expected, the arrow exploded. "If you come and don't reciprocate, it's indecent, and you will take an arrow from me." With a flick of the wrist, the elemental bow was already in his hand, facing the direction of Hawkeye as an arrow shot. Because Hawkeye has been observing everyone's movements in the sky, no one's small movements can escape Su Zaicheng's eyes. This arrow is just an ordinary arrow, depicting the ordinary arrow of the magic circle. Su Zaicheng didn't dare to use elements, let alone the airport bombing. Su Zaicheng was afraid that Shi Shilian would blow up the city to heaven. Originally, the task was to bring everyone back, but in the end, everyone was killed, so it would be a joke. Besides, Su Zaicheng is now on the cusp of blowing up a city, so the whole people should not be crusaded. Don't take the position of the director of the Black Stewed Egg, let alone a commission of 50 billion. However, even ordinary arrows are enough for Hawkeye to drink a pot. Hawkeye is also worthy of being a veteran of bow and arrow. He missed his own attack and quickly rolled to one side to avoid the opponent's attack, and to continue to launch the next attack. However, what he didn't expect was that even if he rolled over to dodge, the arrows shot by the other party changed direction with him as if they had eyes. Unable to stay in the hesitation, Hawkeye hurriedly took out an arrow from behind again, aiming at Su Zaicheng's arrow and shooting it. Hawkeye is really smart. If he can't avoid it, he will destroy it. It's a good move to surround Wei and save Zhao. It's just that he underestimated Su Zaicheng's absolute hit. Even if the arrow is destroyed, the fragments and arrow still don't fall to the ground, but continue to stab Hawkeye. The movements of the two of them sounded like a long story, but in fact they were like lightning. The shattered arrow made a sharp turn and shot directly at the car that Hawkeye was hiding from. Then the magic circle exploded. Since it is an ordinary arrow, the power of the magic circle it can carry is naturally not as good as that of elemental arrows. However, just ordinary arrows plus a weakened magic wave is enough to blow up an aircraft to pieces. At the moment of the explosion, a black figure flashed in front of Su Zaicheng and rushed directly into the center of the explosion. The sound of the explosion lasted for about 10 seconds before the scene of the center of the explosion was revealed. Cough cough cough. Before seeing anyone, I heard a coughing sound. My name is T'Challa. On the lookout, Black Panther actually used his body to deliver the explosion for Hawkeye. It seems to be in response to Hawkeye's self-introduction just now. Black Panther also made a name for himself. Tut tut. Unexpectedly, the enemy who had turned against each other just now was willing to explode for the opponent. If there is no Black Panther, now you should only be able to see full of flesh and blood, a pile of broken bones. Although Hawkeye's physique is far superior to that of ordinary people, he is still as fragile as a blank sheet of paper in front of the explosive magic circle. One poke will break. Well, it must be known in this way. I like it, though. After Hawkeye finished speaking, he turned over and had another arrow in his hand at the same time. Whoosh. Whoosh. With just this one movement of turning over and standing up, Hawkeye shot more than 10 arrows. Okay, boy, the hand speed is fine. This time, Su Zaicheng was stunned, and he was able to play arrows to a higher level. No wonder Hawkeye has several kids. His wife is absolutely happy. With the cover of Hawkeye, Black Panther also leapt, like a real cheetah hunting, unexpectedly jumped directly onto Su Zaicheng's face from the ground. Damn, it's pretty good at matching. With the coordination of mind-reading skills, Su Zaicheng could clearly see the small thoughts of Hawkeye and Black Panther. Plus Hawkeye slows them down. In Su Zaicheng's eyes, the speed of the arrow is no different from the speed of a snail. Lift your fingers and flick them away at will. Boom boom. There are actually explosive arrows, but they are all the same. Once the bomb explodes, there are not only explosive arrows, but also several splitting arrows and arrows that release electricity. Definitely cannot escape the fate of being bombed by Su Zaicheng. After Su Zaicheng finished all the arrows, Black Panther rushed over. Seeing Black Panther wearing a confident expression under the mask, Su Zaicheng, who was hidden under the hood, also smiled contemptuously. He raised his arm and slapped it out with the elemental bow in his hand. The seemingly random movement hit Black Panther's abdomen, but it caused huge amounts of blowing sensation. When looking at Black Panther, he actually flew out like an arrow just now. How about it? Are you still asleep? After finishing speaking, Su Zaicheng raised his legs and ran towards Hawkeye, saying that running was no different from teleportation in the eyes of others. Hawkeye heard the bounty hunter's provocation, and just raised his arm to shoot him 2 arrows, but suddenly found that the bounty hunter in front of him disappeared instantly. There was a sound of broken bones, and Hawkeye felt the pain. The bow that was easily picked up in his hand was now as heavy as 1,000 caddies. This is also the result of Su Zaicheng's ability to control strength. Under the absolute speed, Su Zaicheng's strength, which is already extremely powerful, has been improved again. When I came to Hawkeye, I just tapped his arm lightly, who knew that it broke his bones, and if I slapped him, I would have turned him into a pulp. Black Panther, who was shot flying just now, saw that the situation was not good, and wanted to jump over to save Hawkeye again. However, Su Zaicheng has long noticed his thoughts. With slightly bent legs, he jumped 3 or 4 meters in place with just such a casual jump. Is this taking the gravity of the Earth as if it were on the moon? Just as Su Zaicheng jumped up, Black Panther rushed in front of him. He knelt down on one knee and hit the spot where Su Zaicheng was standing just now with his fist. At the same time, an explosive energy swept across in an instant. This should be the kinetic energy stored by Black Panther in the previous and just battles. It's just that when he missed the target and wanted to escape, it seemed to be too late. Before Black Panther got up, he felt a heavy object suddenly drop, like a train falling from the sky and hitting him fiercely. Click. There were a few more sounds of broken bones. Unexpectedly, even some Black Panthers with Wakanda's most advanced vibranium armor could not withstand the bounty hunter's blow. This time, it is estimated that a few ribs will not be finished. It was just a shot, and the 2 teams actually suffered losses. Scarlet Witch vomited blood and returned. Vision was also embedded in the plane, and Jongdon and Tekara also had several broken bones. Is Avengers so fragile, vulnerable to a single blow? At this moment, there is a big question mark in everyone's heart. For a long time, they have been invincible in every mission, but they did not expect that all members would be folded in the hands of one person. Su Zaicheng can be regarded as a blow to their self-confidence. Captain, what should I do? Fight him. Captain America and Bucky also saw it in the distance, and Bucky looked at Captain America again and asked. Similarly, Captain America's answer is still the same sentence. Shall we go too, Tony? What do you say? While Captain America, Bucky and Falcon were attacking in Su Zaicheng's direction, Iron Man and the Iron Patriot were also moving. Now, only Natasha Romanoff didn't do anything. I don't know what kind of means she has. 5 people came to Su Zaicheng very quickly. Captain America looked at the 2 people on the ground, and the chill in his eyes grew stronger. As for Su Zaicheng, he carried the bow of the elements behind his back, and put his hands in his trouser pockets. This is to carry the contempt to the end. Mr. Hunter, I know we can't beat you, but today I have to fight with you. It's just what I want. Don't talk nonsense, let's all go together. Looking at Tony, who hesitated to speak, Su Zaicheng also said in a tone of eagerness. You're too crazy. Captain America has long disliked Su Zaicheng, not just now. From the first time he met Su Zaicheng knew that Captain America and him would have a fight sooner or later. Under Captain America's mask, those Shendu eyes are about to burst into flames. He glared fiercely at Su Zaicheng. Throw the shield in your hand like a boomerang like Su Zaicheng. The moment Captain America started, the Falcon in the sky released the hidden weapon from the thruster on its back again. It was the hidden weapon that hit Tony. At the same time, the shield seemed to be a signal for war, and Bucky grabbed it with a move, and the metal arm had already stretched out. Boom boom. Tony's palm cannon also fired continuously, showing no mercy. Like Tony, the Iron Patriot also had 2 Gatlings on their shoulders, braving the blue light, and the penetrating bullets were crazily strafing over. It may be because of knowing the strength of the bounty hunter, coupled with the shocking scene just now. Everyone has no reservations, and they don't care about the previous affection. It seems that now, Su Zaicheng is their enemy, and he is the kind who kills his father. Hey, I slept with your mother, or killed your father. Everyone seems to have some deep hatred. However, even in the face of such intensive attacks, Su Zaicheng still didn't panic at all. Just joking, facing the meteorite collapsing in front of him, Su Zaicheng didn't change his face and didn't breathe. This is where it is. The 5-pointed star in the eyes suddenly turned, and Xia Shuyan was silent. Seeing so many attacks, just when the 5 of them thought that the bounty hunter could not escape, all of a sudden, they saw that the bounty hunter raised his arm again, and a white mask was pushed out from the palm of his hand, directly meeting everyone's attack. The mask instantly expanded dozens of times, covering the star-striped shield, bullets, shells and the 5 people. The next second, they were surprised to find that they seemed unable to move. Not only was the movement of the body frozen in the white mask, but even the bullets that had been fired stopped in midair. What the hell kind of trick is this? HMPH, it's not a trick. Have you heard of time standing still? Hee Tianbi. Seeing the shock deep in their hearts, Su Zaicheng also raised his eyebrows, pretending silently in his heart. Then, Su Zaicheng strolled leisurely into the mask, dropping bullets along the way, and reached out to hold Captain America's shield in his hand. After weighing it a few times, it was surprisingly heavy, perhaps only a little lighter than the Flood Dragon trident. Su Zaicheng held it in his hand, and seemed to be quite comfortable. Shake the shield left and right to block all the bullets and shells. There is also Falcon's flight device. Su Zaicheng thoughtfully put the flight device back for him. It's just that the technique was a bit rough. Not only did he not put it back intact, but also inserted a hole in the thruster. After finishing these, Su Zaicheng shrugged his shoulders and twitched the corner of his mouth, as if to say, I didn't mean it. It seems that there are still left. Bucky is not molesting. Su Zaicheng is still very curious about Hydra's Winter Soldier plan. These people in Hydra are actually very smart. As far as this Winter Soldier plan is concerned, a good soldier can be transformed into a super soldier plan comparable to the secret super soldier plan of the United States. Moreover, there are many Winter Soldiers. Captain America is a super soldier. Hey, there is a good saying. Work hard Hydra, steal and play tricks shield. The people in Hydra are all workaholics, they don't ask for anything in return, and they are really desperate for their beliefs. Looking at shield, let us not talk about the Avengers. The staff inside S.H.I.E.L.D. are also more cunning. I still remember that once Su Zaicheng sneaked into S.H.I.E.L.D. by using the shadow concealment technique, and happened to bump into an employee who was using S.H.I.E.L.D.'s high-precision equipment to play King Pesticide. Su Zaicheng walked to Bucky's side, and suddenly found that under the guy's long bangs, those eyes were actually kind of vicious. The mind-reading technique looked into his heart. He actually told Su Zaicheng to roll, don't get close to him. Damn, this can be tolerated. Su Zaicheng held the fist that Ba Ji swung just now with his hand, and exerted light force. The steel fist actually deflated. Although his arm is not yet made of vibranium, who would have thought that the steel in the there is no difference between Su Zaicheng's hands and dough. 3 minutes passed quickly. When the time came, everyone hurriedly took a few steps back to distance themselves from Su Zaicheng. Then move the stiff joints. Under the hood, Su Zaicheng also looked at them with a smile, holding Captain America's shield in his hand, standing motionless and watching them. 3 minutes is not long, but for these 5 people, these 3 minutes are probably enough for them to remember for a lifetime. Because Su Zaicheng was wearing a hood, he couldn't see his appearance clearly, and it was even more impossible to know how many cards he had. Several people looked at each other, and rushed forward again, but this time they learned to be smart, and actually played a wheel battle. The first to fly over was the Falcon. It may be that Su Zaicheng broke his propeller just now, his speed seems to be not as fast as before, and he still flew over sideways. I've analyzed Falcon before. Although this guy's strength is not very good, his brain is really easy to use. Seeing that his speed couldn't keep up, he actually chose to attack by range. From the armor on the back, Ka ejected several missiles. From his heart, he could see that these missiles were not intended to inflict substantial damage, but were instead covering for others. HMPH, any cleverness is superfluous in the face of absolute strength. After speaking, Su Zaicheng directly threw the shield out of his hand. Along the way, not only blocked the missiles, but also smashed the Falcon with spare power. Without Scarlet Witch's rescue, if it hits him now, it will definitely destroy him. The 4 people who were brewing on the side were not like Vision's paddling. Tony shot shield out with a palm shot. Just in time, Bucky received it and passed it to Captain America again. Although this series of actions is very particular about tacit understanding, it is really not difficult for them. The most important thing among Avengers is tacit understanding. However, when they looked at the bounty hunter, they found that his figure had disappeared again. Friday, track him down, I want to see where he is. Before Friday could answer Tony, the figure of the bounty hunter reappeared in their field of vision, but he was actually above Falcon's head. With a slap, Falcon's propellers shattered layer by layer. Falcon's body also fell headfirst. The Avengers lost another combatant knife. Seeing his little follower being beaten, Captain America roared like an enraged lion, and charged up fearlessly again. In order to cover him, the Iron Patriot was also constantly releasing missiles beside him, and the gun barrels on his shoulders and arms were also on standby at any time. It seemed that he didn't plan to go up close, and just played the tactic of long-distance harassment. Seeing Captain America rushing towards him, Su Zaicheng did not retreat but advanced. He sparred fiercely with a fist. The super soldier serum has raised the various functions of Captain America's body to the limit, but Su Zaicheng still does not understand where the limit of the human body is. If you compare yourself, Su Zaicheng is also a human being, but his body is far beyond that of an ordinary god. This has not yet reached the limit, but Captain America has reached it. It cannot be said that Captain America's body is then Su Zaicheng's should be strong, obviously it is impossible. Today Su Zaicheng will see where the limit of Captain America's strength lies. Facing the bounty hunter's fist, Captain America still didn't dare to resist with his body. The shield in his hand was raised high, and he knelt down on one knee to protect his body. When Su Zaicheng's fist touched the shield, he felt a huge force coming from the shield. This is the power of counter-shock. Captain America is very self-aware and knows how to use force to fight. If he doesn't have that strength, he will never hold on. There are indeed 2 hits. Glancing at the fist marks on the shield, Su Zaicheng couldn't help but praise. Captain America's actual combat experience can be described as seasoned. Although vibranium was hit to dent it, Vision was hit by the same blow just now, and he flew out, while Captain America knelt on the ground intact. Suddenly, another fist hit. Captain America raised his arm again and used a shield to block it. At the same time, he stood up and kicked out. He was very smart and blocked Su Zaicheng's fist, before Su Zaicheng had time to retract it. Kicked to his weak spot. However, he underestimated Su Zaicheng too much. Su Zaicheng snorted coldly, saw Captain America's tactics, and kicked Captain America away with the same kick. Before Su Zaicheng could take his feet back, someone unexpectedly attacked him again. The metal arm that shone silver in the sunlight hammered Su Zaicheng's ribs. This time, Su Zaicheng just stretched out his fist and kick, and there was no time to react. I can only really take Bucky's iron arm. When hit, Bucky is also very experienced in quickly retreating. It's just that what he didn't understand was why there was a sound of metal magnetic collision when his iron arm hit his body. Feeling the tingling pain in his ribs, Su Zaicheng was a little upset at once, as he was successfully attacked by Bucky in his capacity. It was indeed a bit unacceptable. However, just when Su Zaicheng was about to step up to catch up with Bucky to recover the punch, suddenly, the perception of danger stimulated his back again. ZZZZ another laser. Su Zaicheng directly raised his hand to block the incoming laser light with his palm, and turned his head to look. It wasn't Vision. Only then did he realize that he actually went around behind him. At the moment, the Iron Patriots were not to be outdone, and Gatling and missiles poured over Su Zaicheng in an instant. Interesting. Su Zaicheng didn't move either, letting the bullets leave a string of sparks on his body. When the shell hit, it only left a puff of gunpowder smoke, and there was absolutely no way to take Su Zaicheng. The copy eyes in the pupils turned again. Su Zaicheng opened his mouth slightly, and a small black light came to the side of the Iron Patriot in the blink of an eye. Rods. Tony raised his arm again. 2 palms fired palm cannons, one attacked Tony, and the other wanted to destroy the black ray. After Friday's analysis, this black line does not belong to the material that has been discovered on the Earth, which is enough to show that it is unusual. Definitely unusual. The Dormammu ray, can you block it just because of your shells? Seeing Tony's useless work, Su Zaicheng's expression not only produced a hint of sarcasm. Sure enough, the black ray was very fast. After passing through Tony's palm cannon, it came straight to the Iron Patriot. This happened in an instant, and he had no time to dodge it. The Dormammu beam hit the reactor in the Iron Patriot's chest with precision. Because the Iron Patriot is the same as Tony's Mark armor, the whole body is driven by this reactor, and the armor is destroyed when the lights go out. Looking at the armor hit by the Dormammu rays, it was like a smashed mirror, broken layer by layer. Fortunately, Rhodes inside opened the armor in time and jumped out. This is on the Earth, where the dark matter is not rich, and it finally stopped after smashing the armor into fragments all over the place. The armor was abolished, and the person was not harmed, but he was also missed in the next battle. Maybe seeing them lose all their players one after another, the remaining 3 were even more crazy. Bucky in the distance lifted a container and threw it towards Su Zaicheng. Under the gaze of Hawkeye in the sky, Captain America also used cover to attack Su Zaicheng. Su Zaicheng opened his mouth again. Another Dormammu ray shot out. After shooting through the container, continue shooting at Bucky. Get out of the way. When the ray shot out, Captain America realized something was wrong, and quickly changed direction and tried to block it for Bucky with the vibranium shield. It's just that the speed of the ray is so fast that it arrives in an instant, and Captain America has no time to reach out. Click. In desperation, Bucky could only grab Ray subconsciously with his arms. However, how could the metal arm that Su Zaicheng pinched so badly could catch the dark matter? With a click, Bucky's entire arm became a funeral object. The whole person spat out a mouthful of blood, and the steps under his feet became disordered. He took a few steps back, fell to the ground with his buttocks, and his life and death were unknown. The ray Su Zaicheng was intentionally weakened, so it shot through its metal arm, and didn't kill Bucky, it just made him pass out from some internal injuries. Su Zaicheng knew his own measure, but Captain America didn't know, so he had to think that Bucky was killed. Falcon was maimed under his eyes, even Bucky was killed, and Captain America's eyes turned red instantly. There were only two gay guys left on the scene, Iron Man and Captain America. Are you finally serious? Su Zaicheng squinted his eyes, looked at Captain America and said to himself. That's right, Su Zaicheng did it on purpose, and eliminated everyone one by one, just to see where the limit of Captain America is. Captain America takes his teammates very seriously. Just now Su Zaicheng clearly felt that he didn't use his full strength. Only by squeezing the anger in his heart can this kind of person who values love and righteousness go completely crazy. Without blood, Captain America may not be able to let go. As the saying goes, how can a person who values love and righteousness unleash his potential against an enemy who has no deep hatred? Su Zaicheng still stood straight on the spot, neither humble nor overbearing, looked at the remaining two coldly. Captain America, who was extremely arrogant just now, is now looking at the fallen bodies of Falcon and Bucky, and he is also panting heavily, his chest heaving and falling greatly with his breathing. His emotions were on the verge of exploding. Tony was wearing a helmet, so he couldn't see his face clearly, and it was probably very ugly. The strength of the bounty hunter has been budgeted to the maximum, but the situation is. Want to take revenge, hee. Su Zaicheng challenged again. However, Su Zaicheng's voice was considered to have opened the flood dam, but it exploded in Captain America's ears like thunder. Let's go. I only heard Captain America growl in a low voice, and threw shield over directly. Then he jumped up, pulled Tony's armor and flew over. Su Zaicheng also stretched out his hand to catch the shield, but he always felt that the strength this time was much stronger than before. Let's start working hard, come on. Su Zaicheng made a lunge, held the shield in his hands, and was already in a fighting posture. When Tony flew above Su Zaicheng's head, Captain America let go and shot himself at Su Zaicheng like a human missile. Su Zaicheng also held the shield and shot him out, before Su Zaicheng could go any further. A laser hit the lower back again. Immediately afterwards, I only felt a piercing sound wave coming, and in a blink of an eye, Captain America had already appeared in front of me. Good means. Feeling the strong wind directly on his face, Captain America's punch actually made Su Zaicheng feel a tingling sensation on his skin. This feeling has not been encountered for a long time since his physique rose to 450. In a hurry, Yin Chang quickly shook his head to avoid Captain America's fist. Boom boom. However, just as his head turned to one side, he happened to bump into a missile fired by Tony. Even though the huge amounts of roar were isolated a lot by the hunter suit, but he was defenseless when he bumped into it, and it was right next to his ears. The sound of the explosion caused Su Zaicheng to break through briefly, and even the shield in his hand fell to the ground involuntarily. When Su Zaicheng came to his senses again, Tony's laser was about to hit his face again, and this time the laser seems to be much thicker than before. One hand could no longer completely block it, so Su Zaicheng had no choice but to raise his elbow and try not to let the laser get close to his face. It's not that I'm afraid that the laser will hurt me, it's just that I don't want others to see my face clearly. A person's face is a person's face and dignity, no matter whether it will be hurt or not. Su Zaicheng is unwilling to be touched by others. However, before Su Zaicheng could make any further moves, he felt a sharp pain in his abdomen. He looked down and did not know when Captain America punched him. When it collided with Vision's vibranium body, Su Zaicheng didn't feel any sensation, but this flesh and blood body of Captain America actually made Su Zaicheng feel pain. As a brave and skilled super soldier, Captain America won't let it go after this punch, but pursue the victory. Counting to Captain America's next move, one arm blocked Tony's laser, the 10th arm also raised. As soon as the arm was raised, Captain America's shield slammed down hard. Next is a series of blows. If it wasn't for Su Zaicheng's Hawkeye who could slow down his movements, It is estimated that other people would have been F***ed to the ground long ago. Kicking Captain America away, Su Zaicheng realized that Tony clasped his palms together, and the two laser cannon ports on the palms of his palms were joined together. No wonder they were so thick. Su Zaicheng grabbed a car parked next to him and threw it directly, trying to use the car's harassment to get rid of his laser. However, Tony didn't seem to want to take this tactic, and a tracking round on his shoulder easily blew the car into pieces. Damn it, you two can still bully me. Tony intends to keep releasing the laser light and grab Su Zaicheng's arm, and then Captain America will step forward to fight. Seeing through their thoughts, Su Zaicheng can sit still, waiting for the next attack from Captain America. Sure enough, Captain America threw the shield again, and then rushed over. The shield was just a cover, the purpose was to get close. Facing the same routine, Su Zaicheng also grabbed the shield in his hand, but the tingling sensation from his hand was much stronger than before. Captain America's Li Huang was still on the rise. Before Su Zaicheng got out of the feeling from the palm just now, Captain America's body had already come in front of him. In close combat, Su Zaicheng has never been afraid of anyone. Su Zaicheng learned all the highest body arts on Earth long ago. Taijiquan, military boxing, Wing Chun, Jeet Kune Do, wrestling, Taekwondo, etc. Su Zaicheng has long been familiar with these martial arts. Although Su Zaicheng is still giving him an arm, even if it is not as good as the experienced Captain America, but with his strong body, not to mention playing with Captain America, he can be molested like a mouse. However, in the following practice, Su Zaicheng's cognition was refreshed again and again. Every time he punched, the power of Captain America continued to increase. In the end, Su Zaicheng actually felt that the wind of his fist was carrying, making him dangerous perception upgrade to a level that could threaten Su Zaicheng's safety. It was terrible. The scene of beating Captain America to death did not appear as imagined, but the feeling of labor pain continued to come from my body. Definitely, Captain America is not having a good time at this moment. Every punch that Su Zaicheng hits on him, he can feel the power of 1,000 pounds. As a result, there was a situation where Captain America could only exchange injuries with Su Zaicheng. He punched me, and I punched twice. The two of them have fought against each other for hundreds of times and dozens of back and forth. Su Zaicheng was surprised to find that he didn't seem to get any benefits. Based on physical strength alone, Su Zaicheng felt that he was one level stronger than him. This is a forced 50-50 split. Captain America is worthy of being the official son of Marvel. Although he is just a human being, it is said that he has been raised to the limit of the human body, but this limit is too vague. When I am weak, I can fight Crossbones twice. When I am strong, I can fight Zishu for a few rounds, and even force a 50-50 split with Su Zaicheng. This is the reason why I only took one Vibranium shield. If Mjolnir is brought up, Stars and Stripes shield plus Mjolnir, this is the pinnacle of Captain America. Then Su Zaicheng probably cried this time. This is so damn simple, that's just incredible. Definitely, this is also the reason why Su Zaicheng wanted to fight him twice, only revealing the strength of his physical body, and also giving him an arm. Otherwise, if Su Zaicheng wants Captain America's life, he can take his head in a flash. No matter how buggy his existence is in Marvel, Su Zaicheng has this confidence. After all, I still have so many whole cards that haven't been leaked yet. At this moment, the two were still punching each other. It's just that Captain America's strength is getting weaker and weaker. It's not that his physical strength is almost exhausted. But the one who was beaten by Su Zaicheng was already out of his mind, and his sanity was a little blurred. Although it is said that he can cause damage to Su Zaicheng, but in other words, Su Zaicheng also has a physique of 450 points, and with the abnormal self-healing ability, it can be said that Su Zaicheng recovers while being beaten. On the other hand, Captain America is not so lucky. Su Zaicheng's strength is ridiculously strong. No matter how powerful Captain America's body is, he can't break away from the category of human beings. The corners of the mouth are swollen, the eyes are blurred, and I can't hold it anymore. Okay, let's call it a day. Looking at the state of Captain America, Su Zaicheng has no need to continue fighting. A hand knife, taking advantage of his unpreparedness, slashed heavily on the back of Captain America's neck. Then Captain America's whole body was like dough, limp on the ground. Looking at the last thoughts in Captain America's heart, Su Zaicheng not only smiled. At the last moment of the fall, Captain America was thinking. Great, it's finally over. This guy is not human. His body is harder than an iron plate, so powerful. Bucky, wait for me, I'm coming. Come down for me too. Su Zaicheng picked up the shield on the ground and threw it at Tony. At this point, Tony has no desire to fight at all. After releasing the laser for such a long time, the energy in the armor is almost exhausted. At this time, why is Avengers not internal anymore? Let the bounty hunters get down. The laser in Tony's palm flickered a few times, and black smoke came out beeping. It finally went out too. Tony looked around, as if he was alone, just about to land and surrender. A flash of light hit his armored skull with a bang. With huge amounts of impact force, he was knocked unconscious all at once. Hoo-hoo, it hurts so much. Seeing that Tony also fell down, Su Zaicheng couldn't bear it anymore, and quickly rubbed the palm of his hand secretly. The few blows I received from Captain America just now were really painful. I couldn't hurt my body, but my nerves still felt a lot of pain. Just when Su Zaicheng thought everything was over, suddenly, a scent came to his nostrils. Two long legs wearing black tights suddenly appeared in front of my eyes, and at the same time, the fragrance became more intense. Is it suitable? Don't give up. It turned out that when Su Zaicheng was careless, Natasha Romanoff sneaked out from behind. Both hands hit Su Zaicheng's waist, firmly grasping his body. His legs wrapped around Su Zaicheng's neck in an instant, and his thighs clamped Su Zaicheng's head fiercely, as if he wanted to use the scissors to throw Su Zaicheng get down and take control. How will you know if you don't try? After finishing speaking, Natasha Romanoff exerted all her strength. However, the situation is not the same as he imagined. No matter how hard she tried, Su Zaicheng's body remained motionless. Does it look good? Do you want me to change a skirt? Seeing Su Zaicheng looking down at him wretchedly, Natasha Romanoff also blushed, patted Su Zaicheng's butt, and put it down with strength. Hey, it's not impossible. This scene seemed a bit familiar in Su Zaicheng's mind. It's just that last time it was a bit of a spring, but unfortunately, this time Natasha Romanoff is wearing tights. Hearing Su Zaicheng's frivolous words, I originally planned to leave with him just like that, but now an unknown fire burst out again. Then look at this again. Natasha Romanoff turned and shot a lightning bolt from her wrist. Su Zaicheng also subconsciously slapped him with a conditioned reflex. The lightning wave was shot back by Su Zaicheng in midair like a badminton. Natasha Romanoff didn't expect her attack to be bounced back, and she was hit directly on the body without any defense. Zzzzz. A burst of electric current surged, and Natasha Romanoff also fell to the ground. Can I say I didn't mean it? Now it's Su Zaicheng's turn to be a little embarrassed. Seeing the superheroes lying on the ground, Su Zaicheng helplessly released his mental power and took them into the hunter space. Unexpectedly, in the end, I still have to use the hunter space to take them all away. It seems that there is no other way but this trick. Lying on the ground, broken bones, Scarlet Witch who vomited a mouthful of blood and refused to stand up, and a Vision who was embedded in the plane and refused to come out. It's really worthy of being a couple, and there is indeed a couple. Su Zaicheng seriously doubted that Vision had just said something to Scarlet Witch to tell her not to make a move. Otherwise, with the strength of the two of them, how could the battle end like this? The replay starts now, and Su Zaicheng is going to give Vision a new title, Water Monster. I have no choice but to beat you all to the ground. Otherwise, I won't enjoy playing now. Back to the base in a while, you still have to fight. By that time, if Black Braised Egg is giving a bad review, it will be bad. Be considerate, it's all a small business, 50 billion, not profitable. I'm also here to complete the task. Please bear with me, please forgive me. After taking them in, Su Zaicheng said to himself, I can only use this excuse, which is not an excuse, to cover up the motive of my itchy hands. It can be regarded as self-paralysis, self-comfort, hee. Turning on the phone and looking at the location given by Heijuden, Su Zaicheng shook his head with a wry smile. He didn't expect Heijuden to be so shrewd. Taking Hawkeye back, looking around, the ground is in a mess, the planes and cars parked at the airport, none of them are intact. This one is scorched black, and that one is scratched. There are also buildings, falling down, collapsing, and even the floor is almost turned upside down. Big pits next to small pits, and the heart of the pit is connected. If some interested reporters randomly add a headline and ignite the flames, it is estimated that Avengers will have to sign a few more agreements. It's time to call it a day. Without further ado, Su Zaicheng flew all the way along the route he remembered. A minute later, Zaicheng came to a place. Because he was not in space, Su Zaicheng did not dare to run with all his strength, fearing that the space of the Earth would not be able to bear it. If there were fires and lightning along the way, and there were all space cracks, then the Earth would not be the end of the world. It is estimated that it will be in the news again, or the headline kind. The kind discussed by various experts. Therefore, Su Zaicheng deliberately slowed down, and it only took a full minute. Otherwise, it is estimated that it would take 3 to 5 seconds to reach the destination. Looking at the sea of Wang Yang in front of him, Su Zaicheng suddenly felt his heart beating. Standing on the sea, looking into the distance, the waves come layer by layer, colliding with the rocks lying on the sea surface, splashing and falling again. The waves seem to be thousands of iron rods, rushing towards the coast violently. Attacking, sending out a rumbling roar. A boulder weighing 100 caddies on the shore would submerge to the bottom of the sea with a slight flick of it. A piece of whiteness, the sky is connected to the sea and merged into one, making it difficult to tell which is the sky and which is the sea. As the saying goes, the fog locks the mountain and the mountain locks the fog. The sky connects the water and the tailwater connects the sky. Even Su Zaicheng, who has seen outer space, thought that he would not be moved after experiencing these magnificent scenes. Only after seeing the real ocean did he realize how ridiculous he was before. The uncanny workmanship of nature is beyond the comprehension of ordinary people. Is this the Atlantic Ocean? Indeed, is magnificent. The black stewed egg is really good at picking places. From the moon, I don't think it is so big. When I was on the scene, Su Zaicheng only had one sentence, F*K. I don't know if I should say it or not. 500 nautical miles north, with the eagle's shield logo. That's right, it's here. Hawkeye let go and followed Su Zaicheng to search the nearby sea area, and after a while a small island appeared in sight. Looking closer, it turned out to be a large nuclear submarine floating on the sea. It has to be said that S.H.I.E.L.D.'s equipment is quite complete, ranging from small pistol grenades to large aircraft carrier nuclear submarines. No wonder they are willing to spend hundreds of billions of dollars. This is a strong family background. When the mental power spread out, the submarine was actually not small, probably as big as a small town. Good job. Suddenly Su Zaicheng felt that it was a bit of a loss for him to only accept 50 billion black stewed eggs. The black stewed egg is definitely pretending to be stupid. Using mental power to find the location of the black marinated egg, Su Zaicheng teleported directly to his room. A wet and salty sea breeze blew across the surface of the sea, and a figure disappeared in an instant. Even the dolphins nearby who wanted to jump out of the sea to hunt prey were taken aback. When Su Zaicheng came to the room of black braised egg, he seemed to smell a bit of embarrassment. The room was a closed room with nothing but walls inside. It looked like an interrogation room. There is a beach chair in the middle with an umbrella, and there is actually a glass of champagne on the high table next to it. What's more, 2 slices of lemon are carefully inserted in the champagne glass. And the black marinated egg is wearing beach shorts, wearing sunglasses, showing sexy chest hair, lying there enjoying it to the fullest. Su Zaicheng wondered, shouldn't this set of equipment be enjoyed on the beach? Is it the highest level of enjoyment? Facing the wall and masturbating? Su Zaicheng, who has seen the heart of the black corned egg through mind reading, finally understood that this guy used the high-tech of S.H.I.E.L.D. to virtualize the reality in the world. Now the black corned egg is on the beach, and he wants to flirt with a future-oriented beauty. No wonder he didn't notice that Su Zaicheng came beside him. The director is really elegant. Su Zaicheng really couldn't take it anymore. The way of picking up a conversation with the black stewed egg was really low level, it was too wretched. Oh, so fast. Hey, for these boys, I'm also heartbroken. It is true that last time, just for an intuition, they spent hundreds of billions to protect them. Another 50 billion came this time, just to stop them from fighting. As soon as he heard someone talking, Black Braised Dan turned off the screen vigilantly, took off his glasses immediately, and sat up. There is a sense of guilty conscience. I don't know what the director is doing, so happy. You've seen it all. The higher-ups inform self-reflection, and they can't go anywhere. Men, it's always about having some fun for yourself, isn't it? When he said these words, Hey Braised Egg didn't blush and his heart didn't beat. Su Zaicheng even suspected that this guy was definitely not doing this secretly for the first time. Then let me let people out to see what their chief is like at home. Hey, don't say it, if you have something to say. Don't be in a hurry, let them stay with you for a while. Because the black stewed egg had seen Su Zaicheng put tens of millions of people away in Sokovia last time, and thought that Su Zaicheng had some magic weapon with him, so it was not surprising. However, before Black Braised Egg could stand up, the room became lively in an instant. Just kidding. I singled out the entire Avengers there. You are fine, enjoy the beach bath here. Vacation is just a vacation, and you still use such low-level wretched methods to tease beautiful women. There is a saying that uncle can bear it, but my aunt can't bear it, and Su Zaicheng can't bear it. Forehead. Where is this? Hey, Mr. Stark, I have to go back to find Aunt May. Why are you here? As soon as he came out, the first thing he heard was the voice of Little Spider-Man, the voice of Marvel's mouthpiece. Seeing Little Spider-Man, Su Zaicheng suddenly remembered a person. While Su Zaicheng was still watching the battle in the sky, there seemed to be someone haunted on a roof. No one else, nor the Avengers, was a previous assassination target of Su Zaicheng. Yes, it's Deadpool, little bitch. When Little Spider-Man was knocked to the ground by Ant-Man. On a rooftop, Xiao Jianjian is sitting on the top of the building with her legs drooping, drawing the picture below. If Su Zaicheng's Hawkeye hadn't been monitoring the entire airport, he wouldn't have noticed the rooftop terrace in that corner. It may be that the Avengers fought too fiercely, and they didn't even find Xiao Jianjian. When Xiao Jianjian finished the last stroke, he jumped directly from the roof of the building. Just when Su Zaicheng was about to use Hawkeye to check, Xiao Jianjian disappeared strangely. Su Zaicheng suspected that his eyes were dazzled. How can you? I'm doing fine. How about you? I'm fine. Before Su Zaicheng could think carefully, two sweet voices interrupted him. Vision and Scarlet Witch don't miss any opportunity to spread dog food. Except for these three people, the others were very honest, as if they were not used to it, they kept looking up and down here. Okay. Director Nick, why are you dressed like this? Is S.H.I.E.L.D. throwing a party today? What? Your chest hair is, kinda sexy. Natasha Romanoff commented nonchalantly. When someone finally paid attention to the black marinated egg, the conversation that Su Zaicheng expected finally appeared. Don't ask me what's going on. It's you all with bruised noses and swollen faces. After all, you are Avengers, the face of S.H.I.E.L.D. Everyone is like this, it's a shame. The old fox is worthy of being an old fox, Zhang is still old and hot. This trick changes the topic, turns passive into active, the answer is really wonderful. However, when Black Braised Egg asked about this, everyone looked at Su Zaicheng in unison. You're men, you don't know, if you don't eat the soft ones, you can only take some special measures. Su Zaicheng shrugged helplessly and said slowly. However, when Su Zaicheng finished saying this, he felt a little guilty, but he couldn't just say directly, I want to fight, I thought they didn't like it, so I beat them up on purpose. If Su Zaicheng said this emotionally, there would probably be a fight today. Not only Su Zaicheng, everyone rolled their eyes when they heard the bounty hunter's far-fetched cover-up. If it weren't for being unable to beat him, how could he be so pretending? Even the black stewed egg is expressionless. The meaning seems to be saying, you are awesome, what you say counts, as long as you are happy, we will believe anything you say. Okay, don't forget the commission, let's go. After finishing speaking, Su Zaicheng teleported away directly, but he didn't go far, but stood outside on the submarine, blowing the sea breeze, feeling the unique charm of the Atlantic Ocean. Not enjoying, but waiting for Captain America. I have to say, this guy, Black Braised Egg, is really a very intelligent leader. As far as this secret base is concerned, it may not be easy to use military satellites to find it. After the bounty hunter left, the room fell into silence. I'm going to change my clothes, you guys should tidy up too. I'll see you in the lobby in 5 minutes. After Nick Fury finished speaking, he took the blankets on the lounge chair and hurried out. Well, cough cough cough, I'm going to have a cup of zoo too. I'll go too. Wait for me. Seeing that something was wrong with the atmosphere, Vision and Scarlet Witch made excuses to go out first. How's your retirement going? Would you mind going out for a drink with me? Very happy. Natasha Romanoff and Hawkeye also withdrew with a tacit understanding. Rode, you were stunned by the way you did it just now, can you tell me how you did it? Your idea was great too, we almost stopped you. Hey, is it really that good? Oh shit, you probably don't know. The Iron Patriot and Falcon also hooked their shoulders and walked away while talking. This couple is the most similar to each other. Well, your cat armor is also very handsome. Can I see it? Scott also imitated the tone of the people in front of him and threw an olive branch to T'Challa, also known as Black Panther. But, the embarrassing thing is, T'Challa looked at Bucky directly, and didn't listen to Scott's words at all. Well, if you don't want to, I can show you mine. Or how about I show you a magic trick, a magic that makes you bigger and smaller. T'Challa still ignored him. I'll go get you some medicine. Scott quickly found a reason to go outside, it seems different from others. Excuse me, do you know where there is a first aid kit? Well, pretend I didn't say it. After closing the door, Scott stuck his head in, not embarrassed again. Are you still not going to give up? What is it that makes you so persistent? Sign the agreement, and perform the task as well. Look at how many innocent people you've hurt. Finally Tony broke the embarrassment and spoke to Captain America. Don't you have the blood of innocent people on your hands? Tony, you know, me, I cannot. Captain America still insists on his ideas, and still has this stubborn temper. It's just that the attitude is a little better than before. Humph. Tony couldn't take it anymore, he just broke through the door. Mr. Stark. Asterisk the little Spider-Man stretched out his hand, wanting to persuade Tony to stay and comfort Tony, but he hadn't stood up yet, only felt his head dizzy for a while, and the sequelae of the battle just now hadn't disappeared yet. Hey, little guy, do you also think I'm a traitor? Traitor of the Avengers. If one day, you are also faced with such a situation, what will you do? Suddenly, without warning, Captain America asked little Spider-Man this question. It may be that too much happened today. The brothers turned against each other, and even fought violently. For a while, Captain America lived hundreds of years, and it was a bit unacceptable. Forehead. I thought, I'm going to go crazy. It's hard not to be understood. MJ misunderstood me once, although you don't know MJ. But when you explain it, or apologize, I think it's a lot easier. Although little Spider-Man usually talks a lot, but when it comes to this kind of relationship issue, little Spider-Man is still very serious. After listening to little Spider-Man's words, it may be casual, but in Captain America's ears, it is extra sensitive. Suddenly, Captain America looked at little Spider-Man seriously, as if he had figured out something, and said to little Spider-Man seriously. Son, you must always remember, when the whole world tells you to get out of the way, you should be as firm as a big tree rooted in the ground, and tell them. No, you are the one to open. After speaking, Captain America also stood up and walked out. 5 minutes later, everyone gathered in a room similar to a conference hall. Black Braised Egg is indeed, as Su Zaicheng said, not only smart, but also very capable of leadership. Don't think that these 5 minutes are the time he used to get dressed and left for the Avengers to get dressed. More importantly, let them reflect on why such contradictions arise, reflect on why they have come to this point, and leave them time to ease the atmosphere and find solutions. Heijidan is not the general who can only issue orders. Heijidan's words are more convincing and dignified than the general's. In Avengers, perhaps he has long been regarded as a relative. Therefore, not only the black stewed eggs know their thoughts, but the Avengers also know the good intentions of the black stewed eggs. Tell me, how to solve it? Even I was grounded. What else do you want? Nick Fury looked around. Everyone who was stared at by him lowered their heads deeply, not daring to look directly at him. Why don't you dare to speak at this time? Steve, come on, tell me what your plans are. Black Braised Egg was so clever that he didn't mention anything about the agreement. I intend to continue my mission, I'm still going to Siberia. I'm not willing to find out the truth. Facing the leader, Captain America still said neither humble nor overbearing. Okay, you can leave now. Nick Fury didn't say much. Since Captain America is determined to leave, no one can stop him. Captain America also knew the interest, so he walked straight away and went straight to the warehouse where the fighter planes were parked behind the submarine. I'm going too, this matter has something to do with me. After finishing speaking, Bucky followed Captain America's footsteps without looking back, and didn't look at Nick Fury's face at all. Anyway, Bucky is not a superhero, not an Avenger, not belonging to S.H.I.E.L.D., not under Nick Fury's control. Freedom of movement is his privilege. Okay, it's enough to go to the two of them. All the rest are for me to go back to recuperate. Without waiting for others to make a statement, Nick Fury directly issued an order. Sometimes it's like this when a leader gives sugar and slaps at the same time. There is a degree of relaxation to be more majestic. For the Avengers, they should be treated differently. Captain America has a stubborn temper, so give him some freedom first, and the others can't let it go. I went back too. Go back and have a drink or two. Peppo's still warming up my hamburgers. Friday, a plane will pick me up. Good sir. Tony seemed to disapprove of Nick Fury's decision, but because Nick Fury was the boss's face, Tony didn't have much to say. The fight went all out, but Captain America couldn't be stopped in the end. Is it still inevitable that the Avengers' gap will get bigger and bigger in the end? Excuse me, I seem to be going back too. Aunt May is still waiting for me. Go kid, it's a good day today. Nick Fury still has a good impression of little Spider-Man, and when he heard that he was leaving, he turned around and said with a smile. Maybe it's because little Spider-Man is young, but there is a faint tendency to become a group favorite. In this way, this civil war collapsed under the few words of the black stewed egg. Definitely Su Zaicheng played a key role here. All Avengers members except Captain America went to Siberia, Tony went back home, Little Spider-Man also went home, and Black Panther disappeared after the end, and the rest of the people were all locked up by black marinated eggs. Is it finally out? Su Zaicheng, who has been using the shadow stealth technique to stand on the submarine and blow the sea breeze, saw a stealth fighter flying from the rear, and identified it as Captain America and Bucky. In the eyes of others, this battle is over, but in Su Zaicheng's view, there is still a small climax behind. Not long after Captain America and Bucky left, another plane flew over. This is a special plane from Stark Industries, and it should have been summoned by Tony. After Tony left, Little Spider-Man also changed into his ordinary high school clothes and swung out, but this was the Atlantic Ocean, and he didn't know how he would get back. Just when Su Zaicheng thought that no one would come out, another black figure jumped out. Hawkeye looked over, and it turned out to be Black Panther T'Challa. He seemed to be chasing Captain America and Bucky in the direction he was going. He is going to Siberia too? What kind of deep hatred is this? Oh, that's right, the revenge of killing the father. There is an explanation in general to find out the truth. Knowing that there should be no more people, Su Zaicheng also got wind on the soles of his feet and flew into the sky. Because Su Zaicheng's flight speed may be faster than the fighter plane driven by Captain America, so Su Zaicheng is not in a hurry, and follows slowly. When he arrives, there may be a good show. Goose Screw, Siberia. This is a plateau area, on a mountain peak, covered with white snow outside, and it is also an extreme area. Here are the old 10 bases of Hydra. The mountain has been completely hollowed out. Rumbling. After a roar of the engine, 2 people jumped down. Looking at Tony, who was halfway home, he was still a little uneasy after thinking about it. One was worried about Captain America, and the other was that his intuition told him that this matter was not that simple. Finally, Tony still intends to violate the agreement and act without authorization. He used his fingers to press a button on the plane seat, and suddenly, Tony's Mark armor extended from the button, and Tony was fully armed in the blink of an eye. The seat on the back fell back again. Tony fell directly from the plane. The flamethrower under his feet was ignited, and Tony also set off toward Siberia. In an entrance halfway up the mountain, Captain America and Bucky had already carefully calculated and walked in. So far they haven't discovered Zemo's conspiracy, and still think that Zemo wants to find other Winter Soldier through Bucky to achieve the purpose of destroying the world. The two thought that Zemo might have resurrected several other Winter Soldier inside, so they were always ready to fight and moved forward very vigilantly. However, what they saw as they went deeper into the cave made them more and more confused. After entering, there is nothing wrong with it. The old military base, broken instruments, consoles, rusty and unusable weapons scattered all over the place, as well as various bottles and jars, sophisticated experimental device. There's nothing unusual about any of this. However, when a laboratory refrigerated freezer appeared in their field of vision, the two could no longer hold back their doubts. Going forward to check, there is a man in hoarfrost in the freezer. The door of the freezer is open, and he is not breathing. Is it here? That's right, it's the other Winter Soldier, but is dead. The two continued to move forward. This was in a large laboratory, where the bodies of other Winter Soldiers were found. Although they were dead, their bodies were still well preserved. Just when the two were puzzled, a sudden clatter caught the attention of the two of them. Hey, it's me. Seeing that Captain America was about to attack, Tony quickly revealed his identity. It's no wonder that Captain America Bucky is too weak. After all, under such an environment and with such a tense atmosphere, it is difficult not to be shocked. How did you come? Seeing Tony, Captain America also relaxed his vigilance. Everyone has come here, Tony can fight him again and tie him back. Besides, it is estimated that Tony also left the team without authorization. Things are not as simple as you think, and I happen to have a bright mind. So here I am. Tony tapped his head very pretendingly. Thump 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 thump. Just when the three of them relaxed their vigilance, there was a sudden sound of the electric motor starting, and all the lights in the laboratory they were in turned on. Avengers, superhero, how are you all? A dull voice came from deeper. Captain America Bucky and Tony walked forward, looked up. There was a huge amount of transparent glass directly above. The glass was full of stains. It seemed that it had been scrapped for a long time. A man was watching behind the glass them. Yes, that's right, it's him. He was the one who took me out of the interrogation room. That's Hydra's order. Bucky became excited when he saw the other person's face clearly. Who are you and what are you going to do? You framed me yet? Bucky demanded. Tony and Captain America are also frowning. Why is the Winter Soldier dead except for Bucky? Who is this man in front of him? What is he trying to do? All this is his conspiracy. It seems to be deliberately leading us here. Come. Ha 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 ha, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. I won't control you anymore, don't worry. If you are smart enough, you should guess that I lured you here on purpose. You are also very good. Tony took 2 steps and replied. Nonsense, you are very smart, but who is a fool among the people present? The reality is not what you imagined. Rich people do not necessarily have the image of fools. Oh ha ha ha, take it easy Tony, you know me? I definitely know you, not only you, but I don't know your father. Howard Stark. Remember how your father died? What the hell are you trying to do? Captain America seemed to have suddenly sensed an unusual conspiracy, and threw the shield in his hand vigorously, trying to break the glass and catch Zemo. However, under Captain America's full blow, the glass was completely unharmed, not to mention broken, not even a single crack. Oh, are you out of breath? I seem to be telling the truth that some people want to hide. Ha ha ha. After finishing speaking, Zemo turned on a tape recorder next to him, and immediately, the broadcast in the entire laboratory was remembered. Father? Shield? Huh. That voice is Bucky. From the voices, it was not difficult for Tony to make out his father's voice, and the voice of his personal butler Shield, Bucky. Moreover, from the sound Tony can guess what happened, the result. His biological father was actually killed by Bucky, and Tony has been lied to in the dark all along. Is what's playing on the recorder real? Tony asked about Captain America seriously. Oh listen, Shet, Tony, you don't know that your father was killed by your good friend's comrade in arms, did you? Let me guess, Steve must have lied to you that your father died in a car accident, right? Why Steve lied to you, the whole world knows it, why didn't you let it know? My dear, think about it. After finishing speaking, he turned around and left here directly. The tape recorder and radio were still playing in a loop, and Tony's father screamed as he was killed one after another. The air froze instantly. The whole environment seems to be full of gasoline drums, which will explode at any point. Tony's breathing became heavier and heavier, and he was trying his best to suppress his emotions. Is what's playing here real? Tony said this sentence calmly, but anyone who knew him well knew that he was already on the verge of anger. Anyone who knows that his biological father was killed by a good friend and deceived him in the dark, who can maintain a calm mind, Tony asked himself, it is already very good to be able to reach this point. If Tony's father is still alive now, not to mention how high his achievements are, but at least he will not let Tony live under such a device, relying on the elemental reactor to continue his life every day. The living people are neither human nor ghost. Tony is dreaming now. I am afraid that when I will become a complete robot. Tony, listen to me, I'm not, okay, stop talking. It's a pity that I have always believed in you so much. A car accident? Hee hee. Since the murderer is here, then I will avenge myself today. Originally, Tony was skeptical of Zemo's words, but now listening to Captain America's ambiguous words, he must be right. As soon as the words fell, Tony raised his arm and shot Bucky. Captain America is also not to be outdone. Everyone has a responsibility to protect their brothers, shield blocks, and no one will give way. Oh, it's fighting, it's just in time. I don't know when. Su Zaicheng came to the laboratory. Once the shadow concealment technique was activated, he became a competent spectator again. Yeah, uppercut, nice, left hook. Hit him Tony, oh, Tony, your shells are useless. Head soldiers beware of sneak attacks, although there is no popcorn, no fat boy happy water, but this does not affect Su Zaicheng's passionate commentary. At the beginning, Tony was still at a disadvantage in the face of the siege of Captain America and Bucky. He even nearly got his helmet scratched by Bucky. Captain America is also dedicated to hitting Tony's engines and launchers, preventing him from taking off and firing shells. The 3 people moved while fighting from the laboratory to the outside, and from the outside to the rooftop inside. In the end Tony simply flattened the hole with a bomb, blocking Bucky's way to retreat. For this sake, I am afraid that someone must lie down today. However, after all, Bucky was crippled with one arm, and his fighting power was greatly reduced. Just when Bucky was gnashing his teeth and trying to catch Tony's helmet, he was knocked to the ground by a large beam of laser light from the engine on Tony's chest. Only groans remained in his mouth, and he completely lost his fighting experience. Seeing that his friend was abolished, Captain America exploded again. With a combination of punches, Tony can only parry but has no power to fight back. Sir, you can't fight him with your bare hands. You should use a weapon. Friday, help me analyze his combat skills. Ding. Analyze Gestalt. When Tony entered Captain America's combat skills and habits into the system, Tony instantly became a military advisor who knows himself and the enemy. Captain America saw that Tony was beaten back and forth by him, and cornered him. However, the imagined scene of smashing Tony's armor did not appear. Instead, Tony grabbed the shield with one hand. Now it's my turn. After finishing speaking, the situation reversed. Captain America, who was overwhelming in melee combat, was surprised to find that every punch and every style of his had been seen through by Tony. Either he failed, or he was relieved. Quasi-really uncomfortable. Tony is also worthy of being the chairman of Stark Industries. Not only is he smart and easy to use, but with the cooperation of Mark's armor, he directly abused Captain America into a dog. Folding hands together, another laser ray hits Captain America. Captain America picked up the shield in his hand as well. Boom, another palm cannon. Unexpectedly, Captain America raised his hand and directly bounced the cannonball. Caught off guard, Tony fell directly to the ground. Bucky was lying on the ground behind Captain America, and Tony was sitting in front of him, and he was also caught in a dilemma at the moment. He is my friend. Captain America looked at Bucky and said something meaningful. He didn't mean to hide the truth of the fact, and Bucky is also innocent. He was under the control of Hydra and killed people without knowing it. But I'm afraid that Tony will kill Bucky after he finds out. Both sides are good brothers, and Captain America can't do anything. It's better not to tell anyone at all. This is also a peaceful means. It's just that, after all the calculations, it was still a bad move. I never expected that this situation would still come. We used to be friends too. Tony stood up and said coldly. In his opinion, Captain America has always been covering Bucky in his eyes. Killing people means paying for them, no matter what. If you treat the murderer as a friend, then don't blame me for not recognizing you as a friend. After speaking, Tony threw Captain America into the air again, ready to step forward and bombard Bucky to death. It's just that, before he was prepared, Bucky grabbed his leg, taking advantage of Tony's stunned opportunity. Captain America roared, grabbed the back of Tony Mark's armor, and threw him directly to the ground. Without waiting for Tony's reaction, he rode again and sat on Pinchy. It's this time, and both of them are deadly. No mercy. Captain America rode on top of Tony, punching Tony's helmet with every punch. Every punch was exhausted with all his strength. Using fists didn't seem to be enough, so he directly hit the shield on the ground, smashing Tony's helmet with just 3 or 2 hits. Inside was Tony's bloody head leaking out. Suddenly, Captain America raised the shield with both hands and slammed it down hard. Tony quickly raised his arms and crossed them in front of him. Are you going to die like this? It's really useless. This is smashed to death. Peepo is still waiting for me to go back. Fake squid, you are really deadly. Thinking of this in his heart, Tony even had hallucinations in front of his eyes, and God was waving to him. Zzz. Tony opened his eyes, the shield didn't hit his head, and at the last moment Captain America slammed the shield hard into its elemental reactor. The crackling electric sparks in the reactor on the chest flickered, which was equivalent to scrapping this set of Mark armor. This time, Tony also lost his fighting power. Iron Man vs. Captain America finally ended with Tony's defeat. Fortunately, there was no one else present except Su Zaicheng. You know, the combined age of Captain America and Bucky is almost several hundred years old. If this scene is captured by paparazzi with ulterior motives, it will definitely be the headlines tomorrow morning. Yes, Iron Man fights against 2 centenarians. Is this a moral decline or a distortion of human nature? Hey, it's a pity, since I have that strength, I have to release the water. Others don't know Tony's strength, but Yin Cheng can't. It's not why Tony isn't wearing the right armor, it's why he's letting water on purpose. With Tony's high-tech equipment, how could he not be the opponent of Captain America? If it weren't for Captain America's home court, Tony would have to beat Captain America to hell. No fun, how cowardly, everyone is riding on them, but they still dare not resist. Su Zaicheng, who watched this one, was aggrieved. No matter how I thought about it, I couldn't understand why Tony didn't show his true appearance. Although it is said that Captain America is an official Marvel bug, it can be forced to split 50-50 with anyone, but Tony is not an ordinary person, and he can stand shoulder to shoulder with a god with the power of a mortal. This sentence is not just for fun. Let's go. The outcome is determined by points, and there is no need for Su Zaicheng to stay. He moved out of the cave in an instant and rushed straight to the house. In the cave, Tony was lying powerlessly on the ground. The matter had come to this point. The only way to kill his father was to beat Bucky into a useless person. It must be considered a bad breath. In the distance, Captain America also staggered step by step, pulled up Bucky from the ground, and walked out with each other supporting each other. "Leave the shield, you don't deserve it. It was built by my father." Tony called out to Captain America with the last of his strength, looking at him calmly. The calmness this time was not mixed with any emotion, just simply looking at him. Fights and people have been beaten, so there is nothing to be dissatisfied with. Bang dang. Captain America also left the shield without saying a word, and continued to help Bucky leave without looking back. Whirring. Hiss. Tony also exhaled deeply, as if relieved. It's just that, involving the wound on his face, he couldn't help moaning. In fact, just after Tony arrived, another person besides Su Zaicheng also came here. That's right, Black Panther T'Challa. However, instead of entering the cave, he went to the top of the mountain. When Tony was fighting Captain America, he was sitting here waiting for a rabbit, but he didn't expect to be Zemo. Needless to say, a scuffle was inevitable between the two, but how could the superficial Wen, who is an ordinary person, be the opponent of Black Panther? The next Wu-er held him on the ground. However, Black Panther, who also heard the recording, seemed to have guessed something. "So I didn't intend to kill him directly. My father was also designed to be killed by you, sir. Is that what you want?" Black Panther took off his helmet and calmly looked at Zemo, who was squatting on the ground motionless. Asked. As the Prince of Wakanda, T'Challa also has excellent judgment ability. "You know, from the very beginning, I never paid attention to those few soldiers. Few. My purpose from the beginning was to provoke the internal relationship of Avengers, split Avengers. That's right, your civil war was all planned by me, and it was all calculated by me." Zemo also realized his situation. He was going to die anyway, and his purpose had been achieved. He only felt that his whole being was liberated, so facing Black Panther's questioning, he planned to tell the whole story. "It's just that this bastard is definitely a talent in the society. If you have no strength, you can kill each other with your words and fingers. This shit is a crime with a high IQ. Compared with the previous Klaus, who has a good suit of equipment, he has become a one-time villain in the Marvel Universe. Is that why you killed someone? Tell me why you did this." At the moment, T'Challa is like a counselor, an ear to listen to. Call. Zemo took a deep breath, sat down on the ground, and began to tell his story. It turned out that Zemo was born in a place that no longer exists. Moreover, this place has a great relationship with the Avengers. That's right, that place Sokovia. A city destroyed by the Avengers. At that time, Zemo still had a happy family, but everything was destroyed by Avengers, so Zemo was not reconciled. His family was destroyed. His hometown was destroyed 100, under the double blow. His emotions finally broke out. The same, he also wants to destroy Avengers and superhero. However, he knew that he didn't have that strength, so he had the following scenes, one after another. Someone died, and it's my fault, blame us. This job, we try to save as many people as possible. However, sometimes not everyone can be saved. If we don't understand this, maybe we won't be able to save even one person. Do you understand? Black Panther explained earnestly that these words seemed to be said to Zemo, but more like said to Avengers. Although Black Panther did not participate in the Sokovia battle last time, he also knew the tragedy of the situation and the innocent people who died for it. Although Black Panther is not a member of the Avengers, as a superhero, he has the duty to protect the Earth and Wakanda, what he should protect. What's more, as Sokovia's burial object, his own father was also killed by Zemo's design. Is there anything more sad for Black Panther than this? But he didn't. In this world, everyone is a criminal. At the same time, people are innocent, and sometimes, it is an attitude to face reality if we have to forgive others and forgive others. HMPH. What do you know? Do you know the pain of losing a loved one? As he spoke, Zemo raised his arm violently. He was holding a Desert Eagle pistol in his hand. After talking about the haze in his heart and fulfilling his goal, he just wanted to be reunited with his family as soon as possible. A piercing gunshot was released in this empty land. I understand the pain of losing a loved one better than you do. Because my father was killed by you. Black Panther held the muzzle of the gun with one hand, and one arm wrapped around Zemo's body, immobilizing him. The murderer who was finally caught, the mastermind behind the scenes, couldn't let him die so easily, especially in front of him. Why we can't let go of hate? Aren't people alive to be happy? After Black Panther finished speaking, he knocked him out directly. Black Panther can live and understand, but some narrow-minded people are so difficult to understand and accept. It is estimated that Zemo still thinks about his family at this time. The most important thing is to be neat. In Queen's District, in the villa, Su Zaichang is running comfortably in a hot bath. At the end of the day, it was fighting, commenting, and watching the battle. It is really fulfilling. However, what Su Zaichang didn't know was that at the same time, Zemo was imprisoned by S.H.I.E.L.D., and Black Panther and Bucky also shook hands to make peace, and Bucky even followed T'Challa to Wakanda. Let T'Challa freeze him. And Captain America, it can be regarded as an apology to Tony, but whether this crack will be closed in the future is another matter. Definitely, these are not what Su Zaichang should consider. Now, he wants to take a good bath, have a good meal, and then have a good sleep. After taking a bath, it was already evening. Coincidentally, the big black fat guy at the racecourse happened to be on vacation after the race recently, so Su Zaichang once again had a cheeky meal. The next morning, Su Zaichang also got up early. Since encountering those incidents last time, without special circumstances, Su Zaichang always got up early and went to practice in the backyard. Not only that, but Su Zaichang somehow fell in love with sports, even though he had to give himself a few days off after each mission. However, now that Su Zaichang is on vacation, he is no longer enjoying the mediocrity and wasting time boringly like before. It is said that people's road to becoming stronger is full of thorns and bumps, but Su Zaichang is different. As long as he has money, the road is basically uphill and flat. However, now that Su Zaichang has figured it out, even bugs like Captain America have to exercise non-stop every day, so why does Zaichang have any reason to steal praises? Thinking about playing games and golf before, it was just a way to pass the time, it really shouldn't be. Every day, besides practicing in the backyard, Su Zaichang also runs, but not around Queens, or around the Earth, but in Hunter Space. In the Hunter Space, Su Zaichang can run freely and recklessly, without worrying about space cracks caused by too fast speed, or whether the field is big enough. It's not just running, such a large magic circle, the control of mental power, etc. Su Zaichang relies on the Hunter Space, and now Su Zaichang has discovered the second use of the Hunter Space. It was really a waste of such good equipment before. Moreover, in order to make training more effective, Su Zaichang also specially bought various fitness equipment outside, such as sandbags, treadmills, barbells and so on. Su Zaichang directly bought out several nearby equipment stores. Because I am afraid that the intensity is not enough, Kyoko Chengdu is all added up and practiced together. Su Zaichang's stuff in the Hunter's Space roughly adds up to fill a football field. It's a pity, Su Zaichang's Hunter Space level is only 2.0 now. If he upgrades to buy things, all these steps can be skipped. Because Hunter Dimension 3.0 can imitate real objects on its own according to the imagination of the host, which is a bit similar to Green Lantern's ability, but only in the Hunter Dimension. Definitely, even so, Su Zaichang is very satisfied. After all, there is no need to worry about equipment damage and replenishment. After a few days, Su Zaichang had a fulfilling life. Well, at least he gained more than before. The 50 billion of black stewed eggs also arrived as promised, and Su Zaichang opened the balance on the property panel and added the previous display to only 11.1382 billion. Not a lot, but not a lot for Su Zaichang. In order to earn more money, Su Zaichang can only think of ways, and the tasks on the Earth can no longer satisfy him at present. It's hard to imagine who else in this world will release a task of up to thousands or trillions. If there is really some rich and powerful big fool who releases it, Su Zaichang really wants to see. Who the hell is only this price? Purple, sweet potato essence is not worthy. So, as a last resort, Su Zaichang could only turn his attention to space. After all, there are endless resources in space. Relying on his attribute of being favored by the god of destiny, is it possible for Yin Cheng not to worry about finding a way to get rich? The universe is so big, there is always a place full of meteorites and dead planets, and there are definitely rich mineral resources waiting for Su Zaichang to develop. Yes, it is to hunt for treasures and star cores. Taking advantage of the vacation time, Su Zaichang basically nestled in the Hunter Space all day. One is for training, and the other is to accumulate more magic circles and draw more arrows, which can be regarded as planning in advance for the next step. After all, there are still many unfathomable things in the universe. For example, the last time I broke into Dormammu's territory for no reason, if there is no Hunter Space, Su Zaichang would have confessed there. However, if Su Zaichang is well prepared, it is absolutely impossible to be as embarrassed as last time. Therefore, in the face of unknown things, it is better to prepare more hole cards. On a good day, things are almost ready. Not only all kinds of magic array arrows, but also a lot of food, toiletries, big beds, etc. Su Zaicheng is the things that can be bought on the earth, can be used. Everything that arrived was stuffed in. Early this morning, Su Zaicheng still got up to take a shower. In the TV news, there are still old-fashioned programs, and even the sunny days and white moons of several months ago are still being reported. You experts, master, go around again and find something else for you to do. Stop working on that all day. Those experts are not annoying, even Su Zaicheng is a little annoyed. Watch it every day, broadcast it every day, isn't there any other big event in astronomy? After washing, there is nothing important in the news. Su Zaicheng predicted that there should be nothing in the past few days. Avengers is a small matter. With the urine of black marinated eggs, he will not waste money to hire bounty hunters. Moreover, because the superheroes are not visible these days, and because the superheroes are not around, more reckless gangsters and various monsters are constantly harassing, not only Queens, Washington, but the entire United States seems to be a little uncomfortable. There are no days of superheroes. After all, the efficiency of the United States police is beyond words. Therefore, in the past few days, not only are there fewer people marching outside, but there are also no people holding signs in front of the White House, and even clamoring for superhero to be controlled, and calls for signing an agreement have gradually disappeared. Universe, Star Corps, here I come. Putting on the hood, Su Zaicheng waved his hand and opened a space crack in the backyard. Turning around and jumping in directly, Su Zaicheng came to that familiar place again. That's right, the location is still the coordinates of entering the dark matter world last time. Ah, comfortable. In space, the special pressure and radiation made Su Zaicheng feel like being massaged. The environment is so comfortable. However, this is not where Su Zaicheng is going to come, this is just the starting point. It was the starting line where Su Zaicheng started wandering. Because the weakened version of the Space Gem Ring has a cooling time of 15 minutes, Su Zaicheng can only rely on Su Zaicheng for these 15 minutes. In this way, Su Zaicheng galloped all the way by using teleportation and superluminal speed, and he was able to travel billions of light-years within 15 minutes. After the 15-minute cooling time, use the weakened version of the Space Gem Ring to shuttle again. Although the location is unknown, it is still much faster than Su Zaicheng's simple speed. Moreover, after each shuttle, Su Zaicheng will deliberately write down the location coordinates, so that he can directly shuttle here next time. After going back and forth about 100 times, Su Zaicheng didn't know how far he had traveled, let alone how long he had traveled. In space, Su Zaicheng has long since lost the concept of time. Sleep when you are tired, eat when you are hungry, and go on your way if you are not tired or hungry. Along the way, Su Zaicheng also experienced many small planet belts and a large number of meteorites. However, under Hawkeye's perspective, the probability of containing a star core is really pitiful. Even after such a long time, at least tens of billions of light-years, only one star core with a purity level of 3 was found. However, there are a lot, it is estimated that there are a dozen or so. Ordinary level, Su Zaicheng didn't plan to use it to upgrade, and all of them were exchanged for rice knives. The same is true for the first level ones, which are not of high use value, and they are all exchanged. Now Su Zaicheng only has 2 third-level star cores left. However, the balance on the property panel has added a few more zeros. Now Su Zaicheng has about 120 billion 40 million. It still doesn't work, the efficiency is still low. It seems that we have to try our luck and find a larger galaxy. Looking at his remaining balance, Su Zaicheng said, still dissatisfied. If this sentence is heard by the hard-working office workers of the Earth, they must run over and beat Su Zaicheng to death. People who have been working hard for decades may not be able to afford a house. In Su Zaicheng, it can be hundreds of billions in just a few days or a few weeks. Is there any idea? It was another good day. In the hunter space, Su Zaicheng washed up, had a full stomach, reappeared in the space, and started on his way. Although in space, Su Zaicheng had no idea what the weather was like today, or even if it was another day. Anyway, the scene in space is the same every day. Just after Su Zaicheng used the weakened version of the Space Gem Ring to shuttle again, suddenly, he only felt his eyes go dark. There was still some light in the space, but now there is no light at all. It's really pitch black, and you can't see your fingers. Definitely this can't trouble Su Zaicheng. Hawkeye let go, everything became clear. After careful observation, there are many dead planets nearby. What's more, the planet here is different, there are actually more people than what Su Zaicheng usually sees. And, it's all black. Can't see what's on it. Looks like there was a war. Su Zaicheng sniffed his nose hard, and unexpectedly smelled a special burnt smell, with gunpowder smoke in the middle, which was a smell Su Zaicheng was very familiar with, because it is very similar to what was left after his magic circle exploded. Could it be that these planets were all inhabited planets before? And then an unknown war ruined it like this? Thinking of this, Su Zaicheng instantly became alert. At the same time, there is still some excitement. What is vigilant is the unknown danger. With Su Zaicheng's current strength, he really dare not say that he is invincible in the universe. If you happen to meet another boss from the level universe and kill him in seconds without even having the chance to hide in the hunter's space, you will be at a loss. Therefore, it must be right to be careful in case. Excited to finally see traces of life. These days of wandering, Su Zaicheng is really lonely, and even dreamed of Jiali more than once. Letting go of his mental power, Su Zaicheng searched hard to see if there was any breath of living people. Originally, Su Zaicheng didn't have any hope. After all, they were all destroyed like this. The existence of living people is really slim, but with such a mentality of trying, Su Zaicheng actually discovered something. A person, a living person. When Su Zaicheng focused on throwing Hawkeye over, a dark planet first came into view about tens of thousands of kilometers in front of him. As Su Zaicheng approached, a very miniature warship actually parked on the ground level of that planet. Su Zaicheng guessed that there might only be a dozen or so people on board. File size like 2 minivans. Not to mention the space battleships and spaceports on alien planets that range from a few hundred meters in size to several kilometers in size. Even the aircraft carriers that are launched into space on the Earth are also much smaller. What happened? Have you met aliens yet? Unexpectedly, Su Zaicheng accidentally ran into another interstellar wanderer. Su Zaicheng subconsciously used Hawkeye to look at the planet this time. It didn't matter, a dazzling light hurt Su Zaicheng's eyes deeply. F*K, F*K trough, 10 level star core. Get rich, waste money. Well, boy, don't touch it. Su Zaicheng's mood was instantly detonated by this 10th level star core. This is not only a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but also a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The joy is beyond words. Su Zaicheng can't wait to teleport to get it in his hand now. All I have to do is fold my hands together and worship the god of destiny. However, something that drove him crazy appeared in the next second. He never expected that the person he saw just now took the star core away one step ahead of him. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Because the distance was too far, Su Zaicheng even rolled and crawled. Even with several maximum teleportation, he still couldn't come to him. Because of the continuous running and shuttle, Su Zaicheng's mental and physical strength has been consumed a lot, and Su Zaicheng feels a bit overwhelmed by these few teleportation. But under the cover of spiritual power, quickly use the soul tracking technique to plant the spiritual seeds. No matter what, it was necessary to ensure that the 10th level star core was within his control. When Su Zaicheng's spiritual seed was planted, in order to find out what that person, or that unknown creature was thinking, bursts of bells pierced through the seed into Su Zaicheng's mind. It's like a piece of music that was popular in the United States a long time ago. Just now Su Zaicheng thought that the thing on his head should be a helmet, providing oxygen and other nutrients, but unexpectedly, it was actually a Walkman worn on his ears ******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* Okay. Could it be a person from Earth? F*K. Here, this, him. What a coincidence. Just when Su Zaicheng had just landed on the ground and hadn't entered yet, suddenly, under the dual effects of mind control and danger perception, Su Zaicheng was shocked to find that several more space battleships flew over. The speed was very fast, and it landed on this planet in a blink of an eye. And a group of people came down from above, probably 7 or 8 people. I'm not sure if it's a human, but it's in the shape of a human anyway. Why is it so lively today? It's very strange. None of you will come when there is no star core. When it's good, you F*King let it out. Not only that, but all of them seem to have alien weapons, and Su Zaicheng is very familiar with this kind of weapons. Because Su Zaicheng has seen it on Earth. That was a long time ago. It is the weapon style held by the Chitauri star led by Loki when the aliens led by Loki captured the Earth. No way, these people are Chitauri people? Didn't you lose your vitality last time? No matter what, Su Zaicheng still had to go and have a look. As soon as the shadow concealment technique was activated, Su Zaicheng's body was immediately hidden in the darkness. Because this space is completely dark, the shadow concealment technique is very suitable for the environment, and it is more perfect than any other place before. This time, don't mention the black marinated eggs, Natasha Romanoff. Even if S.H.I.E.L.D. took out their most advanced satellites and cameras, and took pictures of Su Zaicheng, I'm afraid they couldn't tell where Su Zaicheng bought it. Unless Su Zaicheng himself is exposed, definitely, this is impossible. No surprises. Boy. What are you doing here? The leader, an extremely ugly black-skinned Chidori, spoke, and it seemed that he might be the leader of the team. Well, nothing to do, treasure hunting. The one who spoke was the first Earthman, discovered by Su Zaicheng. Facing such a fierce, tall and big Chidori, from the tone of his voice, he was not afraid at all. Boy. Don't talk so glibly here, hand over what you found. Oh. Is this it? After finishing speaking, the Earthman threw away the things in his hand. It was a metal ball, the file size was only the size of a fist, and it was silvery white overall, and the others were not attractive. However, as soon as this thing came out, not only the Chidori, but even Su Zaicheng, who had been hiding by the side and secretly listening to their conversation, stared straight at the eyes. Not only did light shine in his eyes, but his breathing became much heavier. It's like a hungry man who has been starving for a long time, and suddenly there is a full banquet in front of him, and a beautiful servant is waving to him, but it is more like a prey that a hungry wolf has been staring at for a long time, a delicious little sheep. Moreover, the little sheep is right next to the hungry wolf's mouth. Just wait for it to bite down. At this moment, Su Zaicheng is in this state, the 10th level star core, the 10th level star core is in that metal ball, right in front of him. However, Su Zaicheng couldn't make a move. Not for anything else but because of the hateful setting of the hunter system. Originally, the system had been set up a long time ago, and the rice knives obtained by robbing and threatening the other party were either not counted or greatly discounted. For example, if you snatch 100 million, but only a few million can be used. Another example is threatening Tony and asking him to give him 100 billion, but the result is that none of his money can be collected into the hunter system. I thought that this situation happened on the Earth, and another rule should be formulated in space, especially now that Su Zaicheng is no longer using rice knives, but another currency, the star core. However, I never expected that the system would be so lazy. What surprised Su Zaicheng even more is that even if Su Zaicheng is in space, he still has to follow this set of rules. Now, in the dark, Su Zaicheng stared straight at the star core, just like that hungry man and that hungry wolf. But, food comes first, but Su Zaicheng can't go up to eat. It was as if the whole banquet was full and the little sheep was covered by an invisible glass cover. Su Zaicheng is scratching his heart now, and has the urge to scold his mother. Boy, throw it over wisely, I can guarantee that you will not die. Su Zaicheng felt funny when he heard what they said. These Chidori must be out of their minds. This is not a dialogue in a TV series for sure. Idiots know that you will kill people when you get it. What? You don't know me, don't you? After finishing speaking, the Earthman put away the star core, raised a gun of unknown model, and opened his mask. And self-righteously made a self-righteous pose, as if whether it was surprising or not, irritating or not, I didn't expect it to be me. It's just that this flashy set of moves didn't seem to attract the other party's attention. Do not know. Several people shook their heads in unison. Su Zaicheng seemed to hear that the Earthman dropped something on the ground. I think it should be dignity, ha 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 ha. Alright, then you will remember me today. My name, called, Du, Xing, Ju. After finishing the last word, Xingju made a pose that he thought was very handsome. That's right, it's him, Star-Lord, Peter Quill. Until he saw his face, Su Zaicheng still couldn't confirm his identity, but when he confessed himself, Su Zaicheng didn't give a damn. This guy is Quill. Star Hunter Quill, the son-in-law of Purple Sweet Potato, is an extremely stinky and funny character. This guy is as funny as Xiao Jianjian. Similarly, Quill, like Su Zaicheng, can be said to be a bounty hunter with accurate positioning. Just in a slightly different way. In comparison, Quill is much more formal and professional than Su Zaicheng. They are specially trained by the main entrance institution. It is also because of him that there are subsequent plots of Avengers fighting against Purple Sweet Potato Essence. Oops, I was really engrossed in watching the confrontation between the two groups. I don't know when, where Su Zaicheng was hiding, suddenly many small alien insects appeared, a bit like lizards, snakes and the like. Because all the attention was on Quill and Chidori just now, and I didn't notice these things at all. Regarding these, Su Zaicheng usually wouldn't take them seriously at all, but when these creatures more disgusting than the Earth suddenly appeared beside him, he instinctively exclaimed. On a planet that has already experienced wars, these eccentric things are particularly easy to breed. It must be that Quill passed by just now to lure them out. This involuntary exclamation was good, and suddenly revealed Su Zaicheng's location. Boom boom boom. Pong pong pong. Choo choo choo. On such a strange planet, especially with such a terrifying environment, even aliens must be nervous. Immediately, laser guns and artillery bombarded Su Zaicheng's position. I'm afraid Su Zaicheng would never have thought that he would appear in this form. Just because of a few alien bugs, I just said there was no accident, but I didn't expect to be slapped in the face so soon. Well, you guys continue talking, I'll just watch from the side, so I won't disturb you. Su Zaicheng scratched his head in embarrassment. Obviously, the opposite party was not a fool. Because of the appearance of outsiders, the atmosphere became even more weird. Then, should I leave first? Seeing the two waves of people staring at him firmly, Yin Cheng felt a little embarrassed. However, when Su Zaicheng wanted to step away, everyone raised their guns and aimed at Su Zaicheng. Oh, don't let me go, you don't speak again. What do you want? Su Zaicheng thought for a while, and suddenly a little cleverness appeared. Hi, you are Star-Lord, right? The famous Star-Lord, I know you. Peter Quail. Huh. How do you know my real name? Are you from Earth too? A chip was implanted in the back of Quill's neck, allowing him to understand the alien language, but when the man spoke just now, the chip in the back of the neck didn't work, and he also understood the other party's language. This is a dialect he hasn't heard for a long time. Suddenly a sense of intimacy arises spontaneously. I definitely know you, your name is resounding all over the world. Oh ha ha ha, low key, don't worry, I'm covering you today, no one can move a finger of you. Things seem to be different from what Su Zaicheng thought. Just now Su Zaicheng took the opportunity to get closer to Quill, and then fooled him, and asked him to use the Star Core as a condition for helping him solve these Chitauri troubles. It's just that Quill is too narcissistic, can't he tell that he is flattering? Do you deliberately put a high hat on him? Some people may be curious, why Su Zaicheng can also understand aliens, is it because they all speak Mandarin? I can only say that it is not. It's because when they were talking just now, Su Zaicheng found that he couldn't understand what they were saying, so he bought a universal language converter in the system mall. This is a very small earplug that can convert various languages at will, whether it is an alien monster, or even a small animal's voice. However, in general, Su Zaicheng doesn't need to listen to what a dog, a fish or a donkey are saying, so he can use the universal language converter to automatically block them and only keep useful functions. These functions are all up to Su Zaicheng's own preferences. Moreover, the universal language converter is not expensive, and it only sells for 10 billion meters. It may be because it is too versatile and can convert a variety of languages. Su Zaicheng doesn't feel distressed. After all, is it worth the money? What surprised Su Zaicheng even more is that this thing also has some black technology, such as wearing the ear. It will automatically fit the shape of Su Zaicheng's ears, and there will be no pain in the ears of the second earphones on the Earth after wearing for a long time. There are even more amazing things, such as changing colors and changing forms. It can be transparent and invisible, and ordinary people can never see it. Another example is the shape of earmuffs, or the shape of a helmet. In the helmet state, it can even provide Su Zaicheng with a certain amount of physical defense. Isn't it amazing? Therefore, the absolute value of tens of billions per day. However, the state of the helmet is too sandy, even if it is transparent. Su Zaicheng thinks it is very sandy. Besides, he does not lack that little defense, so he just made him look like a simple earplug. Definitely, this all happened in a very short period of time. With the artificial intelligence of the system, as long as Su Zaicheng opened his mouth, this piece of equipment was immediately screened out. When worn on the ear, it is basically 2 or 3 seconds. At this time, Su Zaicheng also really realized the benefits of Hunter System 2.0. As long as he has money, it is really convenient, especially in actual combat. Well, can I? Before Su Zaicheng finished speaking, Quill raised his arm and shot directly, as if deliberately trying to be handsome in front of people who knew him. In the blink of an eye, the two groups of people who had been discussing just now turned against each other. Hey, is my status so low? Su Zaicheng shook his head helplessly, as if he had been ignored. But now Su Zaicheng can't just watch. Although Quill is a bit of an ass, but Su Zaicheng still wants to make a move. Whether it can be done or not, we have to try it later. Thinking of this, Su Zaicheng stepped aside and directly joined the battle. Moreover, with super high close combat, one punch at a time, Chitauri all fell to the ground in an instant. Just now Su Zaicheng wanted to directly blast them to death with spiritual seeds, However, when I met Su Zaicheng for the first time, I thought it was better not to say hello in such a shocking way. If Quill is wary of Su Zaicheng because of his strength, then the Star Core will be even more difficult to fool. Okay, great. It's a pity that you don't become a star hunter with this skill. This skill is almost catching up with me. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Quill looked Su Zaicheng up and down a few times, and after thinking about it, he still made some decent comments. For the sake of helping you too, I want to make a deal with you. Su Zaicheng directly stated his purpose. Definitely can, go ahead, hire me to rob someone. As long as the tickets are in place, I will do my best. At the moment Su Zaicheng may have a confused face. Why are these words so familiar? Let me declare that I, Su Zaicheng, are not the same as Quill. We are not the same kind of people. It's not about robbing someone, it's about trading with you. Su Zaicheng was patient and repeated again. If it weren't for seeing what Su Zaicheng wanted in his hand, Su Zaicheng would have slapped him deep into the heart of this planet long ago. Deal? Tell me. I can spend a lot of money. Or exchange 2 of these for the metal ball in your hand. It's the one you just found. In order to lure Quill, Su Zaicheng took out his only 2 third-level star cores. In Su Zaicheng's memory, Quill was a super invincible person who loved money. His level of greed was even worse than himself. It can be said that as long as the money is in place, Quill can even sell his adoptive father. Definitely, take out 2 third-level star cores, corresponding to 10th level star cores, and 2 third-level star cores can't resist a 4th level one, let alone a 10th level one. So, this kind of thing of exchanging sesame seeds for watermelon, that's how to deceive Quill, a guy who doesn't know anything. Besides, if Su Zaicheng's guess is correct, the metal ball should contain a power gem. The purple light is undoubtedly a power gem. If Su Zaicheng is equipped with this power gem, he can make a planet with one punch. That's not just talk. Therefore, this strengthened Su Zaicheng's determination to get it. However, facing the 2 gleaming star cores, Quill seemed unmoved. You don't know this stuff, don't you? It can be sold for money. Billions, tens of billions, it's all possible. Su Zaicheng thought that Quill didn't know the star core, so he specially introduced it to him. However, Quill's expression didn't seem to change at all. Okay. Could it be that the Quill in Su Zaicheng's memory is fake, and he doesn't like money? No way. This is the end of the calf. Thinking of this, Su Zaicheng not only feels a little uncomfortable. In this case, we can only use mind reading to see what Quill is thinking. Seeing this, Su Zaicheng immediately scolded Quill hundreds of times in his heart. Quill, this guy doesn't love money, he loves money to death. As an interstellar hunter, how could he not recognize this thing in Su Zaicheng's hand? It's just that it's not called a star core in their place. According to Quill's knowledge, he had only seen a 4th level and 5th level star core at the highest level, so he didn't know that he was holding a 10th level star core in his hand. However, when Su Zaicheng showed the 2 star cores, Quill directly recognized them and estimated their value. What Quill thought was that the one in his hand would make him pay such a high price without any hesitation, and when he thought about the attitude of the Chittori just now, then he picked up a treasure today. Priceless, priceless. How could the priceless treasure be exchanged so easily? Quill was clearly not such a gullible guy. Damn it, it's more cunning than a black marinated egg. Su Zaicheng didn't expect that Quill would have so many thoughts in such a short period of time. As expected of being in this line of business, he was seen through just like that. Hey, I'm still too young. Careless, careless. Sure enough, after Su Zaicheng penetrated Quill's heart, you started talking nonsense. Little brother, listen to your voice, you shouldn't be too old. Well, bro, I'm also on a tight budget recently. If it's normal, I might change it for you, but, look, I don't know your stuff either. Who knows what it's worth? Definitely it's not that I don't believe you. It's just this world, you know it. Then you mean. Good brother, I have written down the matter of your helping today. When we develop in the future, if we meet again, my buddies will definitely help us. I'll take a step first, in trouble, mention my name. See you soon. Before Su Zaicheng could finish speaking, Quill boarded his miniature space battleship in a flash, and disappeared in the blink of an eye, still jumping away through space. I'm F*King. Cooked duck flew. Also mentioned your name. I'm afraid you will be beaten harder if you mention your name. Originally a sentence of sorry can solve the problem, but mentioning your name will probably break an arm. Looking at Quill who was running faster than a rabbit, Su Zaicheng really had a saying that he didn't know if he said it properly. I have met a cunning one, but I have never met such a cunning one. This is not a fox, this is a fox. Su Zaicheng felt that he had never been stimulated like this since he traveled here. In an instant, felt his chest hold his breath. Rumbling. Boom. Rumbling. The angry Su Zaicheng punched and kicked the building in front of him. He has always been invincible, but he has met his opponent. So what if he has mind-reading skills? He can see through other people's thoughts, but he can't change his thoughts. Even so, Su Zaicheng has nothing to do. Can't fight, can't grab. Kong has incredible strength, but he can't help a shrewd Quill. Are you angry? Fortunately, Su Zaicheng's spiritual seed has already marked Quill. No matter where he goes, Su Zaicheng doesn't have to worry. From the current point of view, after Quill realizes the importance of the metal ball in his hand, he should not make a move for the time being. So Su Zaicheng didn't chase after him immediately. Anyway, no matter where he went, he could find him. Fortunately, the spiritual seeds were planted in advance. If you use tracking paper cranes, track him. Damn, that's really rotten. For Su Zaicheng, the only thing to be thankful for is this. Just when Su Zaicheng was furious and wreaked havoc, a reflective object in the depths of the planet immediately attracted Su Zaicheng's attention. Teleportation came directly to the front. This should be the place where Quill took the power gem just now. Su Zaicheng looked around and was surprised to find that this place seemed to be the interior of a large space battleship. The place where the power gem is placed seems to be the center console of the battleship. Instead, the scattered ones on the ground, it may be because Quill took away the power gem, causing the battleship to lose its energy supply and suddenly become a pile of scrap iron. Su Zaicheng touched the center console. The rusty appearance should have been through many years. Coupled with the birth of small animals such as lizards, Su Zaicheng boldly calculated that the age of this warship may reach hundreds of millions of years. However, judging by the file size of this battleship, it almost covers the surface of this planet. What kind of civilization can create such a spaceship hundreds of millions of years ago? Moreover, it seems that the energy supply material of this spaceship is actually a power gem. This made Su Zaicheng even more curious. Even the feeling of being confused by Quill just now was swept away. The piece of debris on the ground is still shining with a strange light. It doesn't seem like a reflection, because there is no light to reflect in this space. Looking closer, it looks like the light emanating from itself. The light is cold and faint, giving people an extremely uncomfortable feeling. This feeling is also familiar to Su Zaicheng, because he has experienced it before. Su Zaicheng picked up the fragments and looked at them carefully in his hand. The moment Su Zaicheng started, it seemed that his body had a reaction, as if the blood flow speed much faster. It's like meeting an old friend you haven't seen in years. Even Su Zaicheng himself doesn't know why he feels this way. And Su Zaicheng had an illusion, as if the metal fragments were brighter. All of a sudden, Su Zaicheng felt his heart constrict suddenly, and Su Zaicheng was about to die from cardiac arrest. I'll go. No way. What exactly is going on? Is there any connection with this one over there on the moon? Yes, that's right. Su Zaicheng is 80% sure that the material of this piece of metal is exactly the same as the one on the back of the moon. This also explains why I feel my heart beat faster. This metal must be related to his life experience. Su Zaicheng backhanded the metal fragments into the hunter space, and continued to use Hawkeye to explore every inch of land here. Su Zaicheng became more and more curious. Where did he come from? Could it be that he simply crossed over from another world? Then why things hundreds of millions of years ago are related to themselves? Could it be that I am also like Atlantis, who had an absolute super civilization hundreds of millions of years ago, and because of some reasons, the country fell? The family used high technology to allow themselves to travel through time and space, and sent them here through time. Then why do I still have the memory of my previous life, knowing that this is the Marvel Universe, the Marvel world? All of this is too difficult to imagine, and it can be said that it involves Su Zaicheng's knowledge blind spot. In the next few days, Su Zaicheng has been active in this area. It seems that Su Zaicheng also forgot about the power gem that Quill was carrying. In the past few days, not only this planet, but also this space shrouded in darkness, Su Zaicheng checked side by side. It turned out that not only was there damaged warships on this planet, Su Zaicheng also discovered the wreckage of no less than 5 warships. A 4th-level star core was even found in the center console of other warships. It's just that the corresponding battleship is also relatively small. Su Zaicheng guessed that there should have been an interstellar war in this space a long time ago. The battleship with the power gem is the main ship, and the frigates, destroyers, assault ships, etc. that crashed on other planets are obviously a very large group of mixed battleships, and it can also be said to be a large space fortress. Moreover, this space fortress is all driven by the star core. What kind of civilization can be so powerful that the 6 infinite gems at the beginning of the universe can be used as energy for battleships? What is the situation that caused the warship equipped with a 10th level star core to crash here so tragically? And the other party seems to be not interested in these star cores, and let them be here for hundreds of millions of years. So far, Su Zaicheng has only found 2 of the 10th level star core that Quill took away in the 4th level star core that was discovered yesterday. It should have been taken away all these years ago. After searching so many times, Su Zaicheng found nothing except the ruins of various warships, and even metal of the same material. Su Zaicheng didn't see a single one. Su Zaicheng was a little suspicious, whether the people who shot down these warships took this metal away on purpose. The 10th level star core is not required, as long as this kind of metal is what the situation is. Now Su Zaicheng has reason to believe that the carriers of the 6 infinite gems, Tesseract, Cosmic Spirit Ball, TIE Particles, Loki Scepter, Eye of Agamotto, and Vormir Star are probably created by this civilization. After checking again, but couldn't find anything related to his life experience, Su Zaicheng finally gave up. It seems that we can only dig out slowly later. The universe is so big, sooner or later I will know what I want to know. Thinking of this, Su Zaicheng closed his eyes and carefully checked Quill's position. The next step is to consider how to get the power gem. Although this gem is also a must-have for purple sweet potato essence, without it, there would be no Infinity War later. But so what, anyway? Su Zaicheng doesn't care about these things. Getting the star core is the last word. Christian. Here I come. After finishing speaking, Su Zaicheng waved his finger, directly tore open a space crack, turned around and jumped in. This is Carrie Star. In a certain prison, a few thugs who caused riots on the street were just taken in yesterday. The police on Carrie Planet are no better than that on Earth. The police here are extremely efficient. For example, for a robber, you may have just pulled out your gun, and the police have already arrived at the door of the bank. For a rapist, as soon as you take off your pants, the police are standing in front of you. It's just such an exaggeration. So, before Quill, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot were put in prison by the police before they could win or lose on the street. In the room where the criminals' personal belongings were kept in the prison, Su Zaicheng quietly appeared here. Fortunately, with Quill's position, it is equivalent to Su Zaicheng having space coordinates, and it just so happens that this range is still within the shuttle range of the weakened version of the Space Gem Ring, so Su Zaicheng directly came to Carrie Star. That's right, Quill, who drives a small space battleship, can't run too far. After knowing that Quill was imprisoned in this continuous school, Su Zaicheng teleported here directly. System. Now I will take Quill's star core. Can it be mine? Cannot. This is too direct. Su Zaicheng thought that the system would talk a lot to persuade him not to have such thoughts, but it turned out to be so direct. Now Su Zaicheng is completely helpless, seeing the power gem is in front of him, but he can't reach it. Is this the only way? Su Zaicheng lowered his head and frowned, as if he was thinking about how to get the power gem. Hey, I can't let go of the child and I can't tie the wolf, so I just do it. As he spoke, Su Zaicheng seemed to have made up his mind. As soon as he gritted his teeth, the hunter suit changed its shape, and in an instant it became the uniform worn by prisoners in the prison. The hood of the hunter suit is still on the head, but the practice has become transparent. Although it is said to be transparent, people outside still cannot see Su Zaicheng's face. Maybe it's a strong man with a beard, or maybe it's a sweet-looking lowly, but it's not Su Zaicheng's original appearance. It's not that Su Zaicheng is afraid of revealing his identity, it's just a habit. He didn't want others to know what Su Zaicheng looked like. Maybe this will come in handy in the future. It may be to avoid people remembering his appearance and wanted him, or it may be to prevent the assassination target from knowing him in advance when he is on a mission. All in all, it's about planning for the long run. Using teleportation again, Su Zaicheng came to the prison where the prisoners were held. Sure enough, the same as in memory. Different from the small single rooms on the Earth, all the prisoners here are locked in this closed space, which is divided into upper and lower floors, and there is a transparent glass on the top. There are prison guards patrolling inside. Now is the windbreak time, and everyone is scattered in various places. Su Zaicheng also took aim at Quill's position and walked straight over. That's right. Su Zaicheng wanted to penetrate behind the enemy's rear and penetrate into the enemy's interior. With Su Zaicheng's strength, it shouldn't be a problem to sneak into their group. Now Su Zaicheng is a member of the Guardians of Galaxy. Su Zaicheng still understands the truth that the moon is the first to be close to the water. I will divide the work first. Gamora, you go get the prison guard's door opener. Quill, see that prosthetic man, we still need his prosthetic leg. Plus me and Groot deal with the breaker switch causing chaos. Before Su Zaicheng approached, he heard several people discussing something with his keen hearing. This Rocket Raccoon is not big, but he has a lot of ideas. Basically the IQ of Guardians of Galaxy. Hi, Quill, oh shit, thank goodness it's Quill. Running in Quill's direction, Su Zaicheng waved his hand to greet him. You are? You. Oh, that black-robed little brother on Breestar. Hey friend, I didn't expect to meet again so soon. You are? Hey, don't mention beating the police in the street. Although Su Zaicheng didn't know what Quill's so-called Breestar was, but after thinking about it carefully, it should be the dead planet they met for the first time. Now that he heard Su Zaicheng's voice, Naquiel naturally recognized it, and the distance was shortened. However, as Su Zaicheng imagined, when facing Su Zaicheng, Quill felt guilty. Well, I heard you talking about artificial legs and access control bracelets just now. Can I join? Definitely yes. Let me tell you quietly, we are going to do something big. Quill smiled wretchedly. Hearing that Su Zaicheng wanted to join, he definitely agreed with it. After all, he had seen Su Zaicheng's strength. Besides, there are many reasons why one more person has one more guarantee. The others seemed to be frowning. First, they didn't know Su Zaicheng and didn't trust him. Second, they were afraid that he would slow them down. However, Quill agreed, so they couldn't say anything. Then what is my mission? Su Zaicheng looked at Rocket Raccoon. Come with us to fix these surveillance devices. Create as much chaos as possible, the more chaos the better. Okay, action. A few people were also straightforward, and they explained the jailbreak in just a few words. That is to say, this group of Galaxy teasers, if it were anyone else, they would have to premeditate a 10-day-and-a-half month. I'm Groot. The tree man yelled loudly, and it was the start of the escape operation. Next, with the participation of Su Zaicheng, the entire prison was disturbed. Gamora was the only man in charge of the prison. As expected, he was trained with purple sweet potato essence. In terms of combat effectiveness, he was still able to deal with these ordinary aliens with ease. Maybe this is their sloppy capital. It took only 3 minutes for a group of people to occupy the control room of this prison. Because Carrie Star's monitoring system and police efficiency are too high, there are constant streams of police outside rushing, trying to stop the riot. It's all here, no problem. Perfect. The next thing is to wait for the flight controller. Counting Su Zaicheng, Rocket Raccoon, Groot, Gamora, Quill, and a prisoner who joined the battle just now and called himself the Destroyer, named Delix. This guy also has a deep hatred for Ronan. His whole family was killed by Ronan. In order to get revenge, he was also drawn into the team. As for Ronan, as soon as the name Su Zaicheng was mentioned, he thought of who it was. At the same time, that image immediately came to mind. An ugly face with even uglier makeup holding a big hammer and shouting, "Pizza Hut, medicine." Ronan is also a guy in black armor with a sledgehammer, and he took refuge in purple sweet potato essence in the early stage. It seems to be the insurgents on the planet Shandar, the star of Carrie's deadly rival. There has been a fight between these two planets for nearly 3,000 years, but this Ronan still does not give up, and still wants to occupy Carrie Planet. The reward order was issued, and it should be this guy who offered the reward to Quill, and Gamora was also sent by Purple Sweet Potato to assist him. It's just that Ronan didn't expect, and I'm afraid Ziyue Jing didn't expect that Gamora would get together with their wanted object, Quill. When? Well, metal prosthetics are also available. Quill then threw the metal prosthetic in front of Rocket Raccoon. Oh my god, did you really get this? Oh ho, what do you mean, really? This metal leg is useless at all, it's enough to have an electronic access control bracelet in this. Wait. Why didn't you say it earlier? I was just joking, I didn't expect you to get him. You don't think you saw that old man without a leg? Is it funny to jump and walk on one leg, ha 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 ha. Not to mention the raccoon laughing. Su Zaicheng also burst into laughter when he imagined the scene. The Galaxy Doubt team deserves to be the Galaxy Doobie team. Sure enough, they compete with each other. It seems that the only one who can cure Quill is this little raccoon. Just when several people were chatting and laughing happily, Rocket Raccoon and Groot's flight controller came to the designated position. As for Quill's space battleship, it should be detained by his adoptive father, the space pirate Yondu, who also claims to be a predator. Su Zaicheng recalled the plot. Since Quill separated from him last time, he knew the value of the metal ball in his hand, that is, the universe spirit ball, and then decided to part ways with Brother Yang. He didn't intend to listen to Brother Yang to give him the things, but to sell the stolen goods by himself. It's just that I never thought that not only Brother Yang wanted to get the cosmic spirit orb, but also the terrorist Ronin from Xandar Star also offered a reward. As a result, when the seller heard about it, he quickly closed the door and kicked Quill out. The next thing was to meet Gamora, Rocket Raccoon and Groot, and then they met in prison. Okay, here's the stuff, let's go. Rocket Raccoon carried a machine gun that was seriously out of proportion to himself on his shoulders, and took the lead in striding out. There is a posture of a team leader carrying the handle. Anyway, Su Zaicheng's plan was to pretend to be a pig and eat a tiger. Since no one else said anything, he himself followed the crowd. Next is the process of breaking through all the way. Several people stand together, a policeman lays down one, and a flight monitor shoots one. The 6 people were like an armored vehicle, and they were directly crushed out. Even Su Zaicheng didn't expect that the jailbreak here is so simple. Could it be said that this is the world of the strong? The jailbreak was successful, the spaceship was parked outside, and Rocket Raccoon drove them, leading them to fly away handsomely without looking back. It's so domineering. Gamora had decided on the destination before Su Zaicheng came. Su Zaicheng also knew this place, but he didn't know the coordinates, only what kind of place it was. It should be a person in the universe who is extremely fond of collecting all kinds of strange things, and seems to be called a collector by the people in the universe. It is also a very remote planet. There is a feeling similar to the black market on Earth. People on the planet are also mixed, not only buying and selling weapons, buying and selling drugs, even the population can be regarded as the object of trading. For such a place, Su Zaicheng is actually very curious. Maybe he can find some useful things for himself, and it can just replenish the supplies in the hunter space. I don't know how long it has passed. Anyway, Su Zaicheng no longer has the concept of time. The planet where the collector is located has arrived. It is indeed similar to the planet Su Zaicheng imagined. In a dim environment, this planet is almost dying due to overdevelopment. File size may not be as big as the moon. However, there are quite a few strange buildings in the houses above, and it can even be said that they are built next to each other, one ring after another. After landing, I found that although it is small, there are a lot of things, and the feasting are different from the red fans on the Earth. Su Zaicheng walked straight to the tallest building at the farthest point, following the leader of the team. That villa is the collector's home if I'm not mistaken. Because all his thoughts were on the power gem in Quill's hand, Su Zaicheng didn't even have the time to pay attention to whether there was anything else he needed here. Under the villa, it seems that someone knows that someone is coming to visit, but someone is here to greet you in advance. A pretty decent maid. In fact, Su Zaicheng is not interested in these bells and whistles. It can even be said that he is not curious at all. It is because Su Zaicheng, as a time traveler, can't say that he can predict these upcoming things in advance, but based on the plot, it is still clear to guess how it will develop. Like what's going to happen next. It is nothing more than the source, process and function of collector to popularize infinite gems for everyone. Then his servant girl grasped the power gem because of being oppressed for too long, and wanted to turn over and sing the peasant, but, everyone knows, is the power gem that ordinary people can directly pick up with their hands. Obviously not, because the next in a second there was a big bang. Not only the collector's house was blown upside down, even the planet shook a few times. Just kidding, infinite gems, especially power gems, as the energy of the 10th level star core overflows in an instant, even if it blows up the planet, it is not an exaggeration. Taking advantage of the explosion, Su Zaicheng also took advantage of the chaos to steal a few things. For example, there are several metals made of special materials, as well as cold weapons unique to aliens. In addition, Su Zaicheng even discovered several star cores whose purity can reach level 5, and there are countless more valuable things. It's just that it's a pity that anything related to money, if Su Zaicheng takes it, it's no different from a waste product. This point has driven Su Zaicheng crazy countless times, although every time he comforts to think about it, but every time he experiences it, Su Zaicheng still can't help but want to scold his mother. Hey, these materials are only useful, and they don't need to be exchanged for rice knives. They can be directly used to upgrade weapons and equipment, which can be regarded as comforting young hearts. After the explosion, several space battleships broke into the control range of Su Zaicheng's Hawkeye. All this was expected by Su Zaicheng. These warships are no exception. Because Su Zaicheng knows what's going to happen next, Not only can he encounter the explosion of the power gem, he can also predict the future. For example, these battleships are the work of that big brainless guy Delix. Because of his hatred for Ronin, this guy actually thought of the idea of exposing his position to attract Ronin. It's a pity, it's unlucky for the collector. Maybe just now I thought I picked up a big deal, and there could be another priceless treasure in the collection. But who but Su Zaichang would have expected that 1 second he was happy and the next second he would be booming? I don't know how many years of collection, it's a pity that Su Zaichang was destroyed like this. If he can take it away and use it, Su Zaichang must put it all in the Hunter's space. Before others could get out of the explosion, Delix held 2 short daggers in front of the space battleships and stared angrily at the open hatch. Sure enough, that familiar face, which he had never seen before, appeared in the vision of Su Zaichang's Hawkeye. I really answered that sentence. Heaven has a way you don't go, hell has no way you go in. Is that Ronin? The blame is that you shouldn't have the idea of using the power gem? A cold light flashed in Su Zaichang's eyes. The tiger is grabbing food in its mouth. It seems that we will see blood today. As for the power gem, Su Zaichang is bound to get it. No matter if Ronin or Purple Sweet Potato Jing comes in person, no one can take it away today. Unless you pass the level of Su Zaichang. In the distance, Delix has rushed forward with a dagger in his hand. He kept talking about revenge or something. It's just that, looking at Ronin's expression, he doesn't seem to take him seriously. Probably don't even know who Delix is. However, Su Zaichang felt that within a minute, Ronin knocked Delix out with a hammer. Then keep walking this way. It seemed that he was quite sure that the cosmic spirit ball was here. Who are you? Just 2 steps away, a man in a black robe and hood stood in front of Ronin. After jailbreak, Su Zaichang changed back to the original hunter suit. After all, that prison uniform was too ugly. Hearing Ronin's questioning tone, Su Zaichang's murderous intent became stronger. This is not the tone of the question, it is obviously to say that the dog will not block the way. He almost raised the hammer in his hand and turned around. You go. That thing doesn't belong to you. There might be Quill and Rocket Raccoon behind, but Su Zaichang didn't want to reveal his true strength as a last resort. Boom! But who would have thought that Ronin was so insidious that he threw a hammer at Su Zaichang without saying a word? You asked for it. Whispering softly, Su Zaichang moved out of the attack range in an instant, and at the same time, the cold light in his eyes became much colder. Suddenly, a colorful pentagonal magic circle flashed in the sky, and Ronin was just shrouded under the magic circle. The temperature of this dark space is also rising little by little. It is precisely because of the influence of the meteorite flame array. Not only is Ronin directly above, but the fleet he brought, as well as his soldiers, are all shrouded in it, because the planet was originally not big, so it seems that the entire planet is covered by a magic circle. If you don't make a move, it's enough. Once you make a move, you will be a blockbuster and leave no trouble. In Su Zaichang's case, there is no need to consider the idea of capturing the thief first. As soon as the magic circle came out, Ronin also panicked. He probably had never seen such a battle in his life. The heat wave that burned his skin made him feel a sense of death before it touched him. With this attack, Su Zaichang was determined to kill. HMPH, I only blame you for not following the right person. Let's die with him together. Looking at the soldiers in warships who were also in fear in the distance, Su Zaichang said with a blank expression. In Su Zaichang's eyes, there are only eternal interests. Su Zaichang didn't realize that if he changed the plot because he killed Ronin, the subsequent plot would not matter. A meteorite with a diameter of 30 meters was carrying a long tail of flames, and smashed towards Ronin viciously. Within the envelope of the magic circle, he has nowhere to escape. At the same time, all his fleets are being attacked by flaming meteorites. However, at the moment when the flaming meteorite was about to hit Ronin, a bright light suddenly flashed over. Whoosh! It turned out to be 2 rockets, and the power of the model seems to be not bad. The rocket hit the flame meteorite precisely, blowing it into pieces all at once. Okay. Turning Hawkeye, Su Zaichang realized that another warship had appeared at some point. The style of the battleship seems to be a bit similar to that of Rocket Raccoon. Maybe it was because I used my copy eyes just now and didn't notice it, but now I have already flown to the front, and there is no tendency to stop at all. Nebula. Under the perspective, Su Zaichang discovered who was coming. Whoosh whoosh. Nebula is also direct. I don't know what her purpose is, she just comes up to cover the firepower, and she bombs Su Zaichang and Ronin's position indiscriminately.